What's up, guys? It's Rob here. We're back with another live stream this Tuesday. We're watching quite a few stocks today, right? DWAC, PROG, PHUN, and BBIG. Let's take a look at those charts right there. So you can see we've actually had pretty good pre-markets today, right? At least for DWAC, and PROG had an amazing pre-market, right? We're up massively, or at least we were at one point. We were up at 646, so very promising stuff. What we're looking at with PROG today, right? It looks like we're going to likely open at all-time highs for this recent pump that the stock's been going through. You can see that over the past 90 days, we have not yet opened or been that high intraday, right? So if we actually end up opening where we're trading right now, then it's looking very promising for PROG stock. So a lot of good stuff down the pipeline for PROG. PHUN, not having as bullish of a day, as bullish of a pre-market as DWAC, right? It looks like we're down a little bit. DWAC is actually above where it was at market close. So it looks like we've got some pretty promising stuff for DWAC. Maybe PHUN is starting to suffer a little bit. BBIG, however, has kind of been stagnant throughout the after hours and pre-market. But PROG is really the star of the show today, right? You see this massive spike upwards that we saw during the pre-market. Let me actually pull up some news for PROG stock right here. And welcome to the stream, guys. It looks like we've got 10 viewers already, and we just started this thing. That's awesome. Okay, so basically what happened with PROG is an hour ago, they released news that they reduced their outstanding debt by $20 million through a private exchange of some convertible senior notes, blah, blah, blah. But basically, they reduced their debt a ton. That spiked a bit of a rise in stock price, as you can see. So I'm expecting a pretty good day for PROG stock, right? The fact that we're opening at all-time intraday highs is very promising for the stock, right? The fact that if you look at the short percentage over here for PROG stock, it's 67%. Shorts really are throwing everything they've got at it because the short interest change is up 0.9%. You can see the utilization is almost maxed out at 100. So shorts really are trying to keep PROG down at all costs, but it looks like that's not working. And we can actually pull up the options order flow for PROG stock. So let's pull that up. Not the order flow, but sorry, the open interest call options that will likely be in the money. So these $3.5 call options are now in the money for PROG, and potentially the 4s are going to be as well if we end up having a really bullish day, right? We actually don't need to go up that much more. We just need to go up 8 cents for PROG call options to be in the money. SkyKid says, let's get it. Yep, let's try to. And looks like we've got 18 viewers right now, 7 likes. Let's see if we can bump that up to 10, get this stream out to some more people. Get this chat rolling. So looks like DWAC is starting to pull back a little bit come market open. That's fine. You know, we've seen an opposite trend the past couple of days, right? It spiked up in pre-market and then ended up getting pushed down pretty quickly afterwards as soon as market actually opened. So it's not the worst to see that we're getting pushed down. Maybe we'll see an opposite kind of pattern where we start getting spiked up as soon as market opens. I'm hopeful that as more people who are supporting Trump open up brokerage accounts and start buying this thing up, that DWAC's available float will start diminishing very quickly. I'm very hopeful for that. So let's actually pull up some statistics for DWAC on Yahoo Finance. I like to pull those up for you guys. 13 watching. Let's get 6 more likes for this guy. Says for Gonis. Yes, thank you very much. Yep, well, there we go. 10 likes. You just hit it. Nice. All right, so DWAC we can pull up right here. And we can see that the market cap is currently only $3 billion. So fairly low, right? Considering how big of a company this could become and how much hype is surrounding this thing, how many people might be interested in buying DWAC. Let me pull that up for you guys. So I know, if you've watched my other streams, you've already seen these statistics fairly often for DWAC, but I will pull them up for people who may be new to the stream or maybe who weren't watching when I last discussed my personal theory about where DWAC could go. So if you go to the statistics tab on Yahoo Finance for DWAC, you can see that the implied shares outstanding, that's what I really care about, right? The 36 million shares that are outstanding for this stock. Then if you look at how many people ended up voting for Trump in 2020, right? This is for the Trump pump DWAC stock for those of you who are just joining. There are 74 million people. So let's say 90% of those people have zero interest in DWAC. They don't care about this stock. Maybe they don't trade any kind of stocks. They think it's too risky. They think the price is too inflated. let's say, 90% of the people just aren't interested. That only leaves 7 million people left who might be interested in buying DWAC stock. Now, they would only need to buy about 5 shares each to take up the entire implied shares outstanding, to take up all of those shares. So I think that as more people end up hearing about this, maybe as Trump starts to speak about it more, we could really see a liquidity crisis in terms of a ton of people trying to buy this thing and just not enough shares being available. If you look, I'm holding myself 150 shares right here. I bought in at $24, so I'm up $9,600 total from when I opened and made $730 on the day. Hopefully that will be higher by the end of the day. We're hoping to see a big increase. Good morning, says Dave J. UK. Good morning to you as well. And SkyKid says, hopefully we do. I believe that was in reference to DWAC pumping up in early morning trading. That's the hope, right? We're hoping for that. We've got 14 minutes to go until the opening bell, and it's going to be exciting to see what happens with DWAC. We've always had a very volatile open. We've almost, I think we've always been halted ever since the initial day when we pumped up massively. We've always seen a halt on DWAC right after the first minute passes by. So it'll be interesting to see. And PHUN, or PHUN stock as well, PHUN, we've also had very volatile activity during the first couple minutes, right? We started at 9:30 and then had a 5-minute halt just yesterday. And I believe if we look back to the day prior to that, well, we really shot up, but we had a 30-minute halt, I think. Did we? Maybe we did. Yeah, we had a 30-minute halt, or maybe it was just a 10-minute halt. Maybe it was a 30-minute halt on DWAC. Yeah. No, here was the 30-minute halt. Just 20 minutes into trading, we started to have a 30-minute halt between these two bars when it just crashed massively, right? It was halted for a long time. DWAC saw something similar. Dave J. UK, I heard Trump Jr. said DWAC news coming today. Let's hope. That could be good. I mean, I doubt they'd be bashing the stock, right? They'd probably be trying to pump it up. But I will point out an interesting pattern that has formed is that we are getting higher lows with DWAC, right? You can see the first low that we had ever since this big rally was at $70. Then we had a low at 73. Now we have a low at 78. So potentially we are climbing up fairly steadily, right? Hopefully that will continue. Hopefully we won't start making new lows today. Really we don't want to see ourselves bouncing off of 70. That would be a potential buying point for me, though. If we did end up getting $70, I might consider buying a couple more shares. However, I did on my Robinhood end up selling a put contract, so I am leveraging up a little bit that way as well. I think that selling put contracts, if you look at the options activity for DWAC, you can see that the put contracts are very expensive. So I think I sold an $80 put contract for a $19 strike midday. So it ended up dropping in value, or rather rising in value, which is what you don't want when you're selling a put contract. So essentially I was offering to buy shares of DWAC at $80 and getting paid a $20 premium to do that. So my break-even price would be about $61. Thanks for the hard work and research, says Sky Kid. Sure thing, man. I love doing it. I'm glad I can share it with someone online, right? Now, WBX, says Randy the Ape. What is WBX? Let's pull that up right here. I don't know if that's a ticker or what. Wallbox. Wow, up massively today. Is this on the Trump pump possibly? Is it a Trump pump stock? And Kelly L says METX. All right, let's see. Yeah, this one's up big too. Jeez. All right, let's see if there's any news for these that we can find. Okay, so Wallbox shares surge pre-market on pilot program with Uber. All right, that's pretty good. That's good for them. And METX, let's see what the news is on that. AMG Group announces a strategic partnership for blockchain and cryptocurrency mining business. Nice. Yeah, so two potential plays for today, right? These are up pretty massively. We'll have to see what happens at market open. Oftentimes, on this kind of stuff, these are rising on, it looks like fairly substantial volume, but we'll have to see what happens when real trading starts, right? When the opening bell happens, oftentimes plays can get shot down. Some plays can get shot up, though, so we'll have to see what happens with those, if these are going to last. All right. And we've got 25 viewers, 17 likes. Let's see if we can bump that up 3 more to 20, get some more people coming in the stream. And I'll pull up WBX here. This one looks interesting. Not that you guys can really see too much of it all. I'll try to get it in the camera. get it in the view. Right, there we go. All right, so it looks like we have been downtrending a little bit with DWAC ever since this big rally this morning. Hopefully that will change course as soon as market opens. I'm hoping that we'll start spiking up a bit. It's not guaranteed. PROG also looks fairly promising, right? The fact that we have shot up so massively in after hours on fairly substantial volume, right? Still hundreds of thousands of shares trading every minute, similar to how it is during power hour at the end of the day. So a lot of volume, pumping this up fairly high. We're going to struggle with 4, it looks like, right? We're just getting really close to 4 around market open, so we're going to have to see how we fight with that. Likely there will be a lot of volatility at market open, especially since this is opening at all-time highs, right? Or all-time highs, at least for the most recent pump. If you look over the past 90 days, this is going to be the highest that will have opened on PROG stock. So we're definitely going to see some volatility with that. Hopefully, though, yesterday we were talking about this stock. We were watching it pretty much all day. Let me pull up the chart from yesterday right here. So we watched this thing break out of this 320 range. It was from 280 to 320 that we identified this range at, that it had been trading at in the pre-market and after hours. And essentially, it started using 320 as support. It did dip down near the end of the day, but ended up rebounding. And then you see it stuck to 320 very tightly in after hours. However, on this news that they were reducing their debt, I think I got rid of the news, but I'll pull the news back up. Basically, they reduced their outstanding debt by $20 million. That helped to pump this thing up quite a bit. A lot of people are hyped about that, so let's see. WBX Gun and Moon, says Susan Burns. I hope. We're watching it right here. We're watching it. Bots every live feed. Be careful. Oh, is Susan Burns a bot? Very possible. Very possible. We'll see if Susan responds to this. If she can confirm that she's not a bot. Now, hold on just 1 second. Okay, there we go. Just wanted to turn my fan on. It was getting a little hot in here. When you got all these screens and the big ring light going, it gets kind of hot in this room. So I like to have a fan cooling me off. All right, and we're at 19 likes. We just need one more like to get that up to 20. So let's see if we can do it. KTZ says bot. Yeah, probably. Susan hasn't said anything since. She's just trying to pump WBX. So we'll see. Yeah, the bots they're getting really crafty. They really are. Joining live streams and commenting on them, that's next level stuff. So they're getting good at that. We'll have to see. Potentially it's not the worst thing in the world, right? If you're holding the stocks that they're pumping, then it's not the worst thing, but it's definitely not the best. It gets kind of annoying seeing Kelly L says, "Believe me, I see her every day." Yeah, that's interesting. I guess so, yeah. I wonder how many of the people who I think are real people in the comment section are just bots talking about stocks that are going to pump. I see a lot of AQST comments, and I feel like most of those are bots, but sometimes I do ask the people in the comments who are saying to talk about AQST, which I'll pull up here. I ask them why they want me to talk about it, and they do respond from time to time. So I don't know if bots, maybe the bots are run by people who then look to see if there are any responses to the bot accounts and then actually respond to them. But Ramsey says, "Good morning, everyone." Good morning, Ramsey. Yeah, so AQST has been getting talked about a lot. Potentially it's been getting pumped up by bots, because I definitely have seen a lot of comments regarding AQST. I still haven't looked into it. I've said I would. I've meant to. But it just didn't look too promising. I looked into it a little bit. I'll pull up what I found on Ortex. I think it was just a very low short interest stock, and it didn't seem too promising for a short squeeze, so I couldn't quite understand why so many people were trying to get me to talk about it. But we have AQST right here, only 4.26% short interest. Granted, the days to cover on loan is 5.87, so that's fairly high, but I think that's just because the volume on AQST, if we look at the year, is fairly low. So, that's potentially why. The utilization is fairly high, though. It's higher than you would expect for only a 4% short interest, so. Yeah, she's one that pushes AQST too, says Kelly. Yeah, and Tim Blackburn says, hey, Rob, good morning. What are your thoughts on Prog for the Open? Yeah, we've been talking about Prog, so let me pull the charts back up, and I'll show you Prog. But it looks very promising for Prog, right? It looks like we're going to be fighting with the $4 level at market open. Probably going to be a lot of volatility, but I will pull up the Prog news because it looks like new people are getting into the stream who are curious about it. Basically, this thing pumped up. If you look in the pre-market, we were up to $6.46. So up pretty big on this news that Prog is reducing their outstanding debt by $20 million. I guess that's a pretty big deal to a lot of investors. They don't like the fact that Prog has debt, and a lot more people were willing to invest in the company because of that. But you can see massive buying pressure when that news was released. We were up pretty big, and then we did dip down a bit, but we're still going to be opening up at all-time intraday highs. So anyone holding this stock is almost certainly in the money unless you were buying just an hour or so ago when this thing was up at 6. So really good Prog news, it looks like. We could have an incredible day, especially considering the fact, I'll pull up the Prog Ortex data. I was looking at this earlier, so sorry to those of you who were just hearing about this a couple of minutes ago, but 67% short interest as a percentage of the free float. Shorts are throwing everything they've got at it. It's up 0.74% short interest-wise, and the utilization is incredibly high, so that's pretty much all they can do. I mean, they could increase it by barely anything more. But yeah, shorts are really panicking, I think. They're trying to keep this thing down, but it looks like they've been unsuccessful, right? Now that we're opening up at all-time intraday highs for this squeeze. So really good Prog stuff on the horizon, it looks like. Deborah Norwood says, beat book, buy Tesla, big gains. Yeah, I've been a holder of Tesla, so let's pull up Tesla. It is up very high. Let's see what we're doing today. It looks like we've just kind of been stagnant in after hours and pre-market. Tesla, yeah, that's a very exciting one. If you guys haven't heard, well, they have been making new all-time highs, so let's take a look at the past year. In the bottom left right here, Tesla has been doing incredibly well, right? We opened up a year ago around 400. We shot up, bounced off of 900, and have since been on a massive rally. We just shot up massively, which I did make a video about, right? Actually, a couple of days. I think I made it when we were just about to break through the $900 level. I've been a Tesla holder. I was still holding my shares, expecting some pretty big gains. Not gains this large, this quick, though. This is more insane than I was expecting, right? And this is actually on news that they have that Hertz has agreed to buy 100,000 vehicles from them. So that helped to pump the stock up pretty big. I'm sure Kathy Wood is buying Tesla stock right now. So really big day for Tesla yesterday. We're going to see what happens today. There might be a sell-off, right? Because it is such a monumental upshoot in price, right? They're up over $1,000 per share. Might see a sell-off, but once again, there's a lot of Tesla bulls who are just willing to hold their shares no matter what. I'm not going to sell my shares anytime soon. I'm still a Tesla bull, so I just want to be in on Tesla. I think Elon Musk is doing really great stuff. All right, BKKT says Ambition 2020. Let's pull up BKKT. Let's see what that has going on. All right, and we're just 2 minutes away from market open. We're getting very close. Very close. BKKT, yeah, it looks like we're up pretty big in after hours and pre-market. Could be bigger, but we were up fairly large, right, to $60. So, yeah, we were doing incredibly well. Not sure what happened to it. But still, anyone who's been holding this over the past couple of days is up really big. So, yeah, good news for BKKT. And WBX, yeah, we have that right here. We're going to see what happens with it with market open. We have that in the bottom right. We're hoping, or Donnie Popovich, WBX, is Donnie Popovich another bot? I don't think so. Someone was pumping WBX before. We'll see. All right, we've got 21 likes and 35 viewers. Let's see if we can bump that up to 25 likes, get some more people in the stream, try to get this chat rolling around market open. Let's see what happens with it. We're only 12 seconds away, the countdown, 10 seconds to go until market open. We're going to see what happens. Are we going to see another halt on DWAC? What do you guys think? I'm not sure. Looks like some of the volatility has died out. It looks like, unfortunately, we are opening below $90 on DWAC, but still gain, considering that we were closing around 83 yesterday. Yeah, we closed at 83.88, so we're still opening above, and it looks like we have begun trading. It looks like we're starting off with a little bit of a red bar. We're going to have to see what happens with DWAC over the course of the day. PROG, we're experiencing a bit of a red bar today as well. BKKT, we're starting to move down. The only thing that has any green on it is WBX. I guess those WBX rocket ships were right. It's the only one. But yeah, we'll zoom in a little bit so we can get a better view of what happens. I think that's pretty good. Sorry, I know some people are probably watching on their phones and stuff, and it's tough to see this, but yeah, it looks like pretty volatile with DWAC at least. And PROG, we might be bouncing off 390. Hopefully going to get above 4. It looks like we opened right at 4. And hopefully we will be moving above that, right? That would be an awesome support to gain for us, right? To gain 4 as a support, I'm sure a lot of people would love to see us keeping 4 as a low for the day, right? If we could potentially be moving above that. DWAC, we're going to have to see as the Bulls and the Bears fight this out. I'm hopeful for it, right? I'm still holding my shares. Those of you who have been watching the past couple of streams know I have 150 DWAC shares, bought in at 24, hoping to hold this until this thing is in the multiple hundreds, right? Hopefully that will happen at some point. KTZ says, let's go. Tim Blackburn says, PROG, rocket ship, come on, baby. I am hoping for it. I'm hoping for it. It looks like, if we could get above 4, there are a lot of open interest call options for PROG. I'll pull that up in a little bit after the first couple of bars pass at the market open. I'm curious to see if anything is going to get halted. So BKKT is tanking a little bit. I am curious what's happening with PHUN. Looks like a pretty volatile one for PHUN as well. Actually had a green bar at open as opposed to DWAC. Now that DWAC is starting to move up, it looks like PHUN is starting to move down. So that's interesting. Now they're trading almost opposite to each other. That's interesting. Yeah, look at that. As PHUN moves down, DWAC moves up. Very strange. They used to trade almost identically, right? Almost like cryptocurrencies. Now they're doing the opposite. Now potentially as people take money out of one, they're putting it into the other. I'm not quite sure why that would change all of a sudden, but it looks like DWAC is having a good day. We're up 6% on the day so far. All right, we've got 22 likes. Let's see if we can bump that up to 25. I know the usuals have probably already liked the stream, but let's see if we can get some of the other 30 viewers to like this thing, get some more people in the chat. Looks like PROG is starting to tank, though. That's unfortunate. We're still up 7% on the day from close. So, people who are buying at close are still in the green. They're still making money. But you can just see massive volume, right? Millions of shares trading each minute. 2.5 million, I believe. Yep, 1.7 and 2.5 again. So, yeah, ton of shares being traded. DWAC is having a pretty bullish open. Maybe we can regain this on PROG, right? It's expected to see some volatility, especially after we were up so large. A lot of people are likely looking to take gains, but some people might be looking to enter a position now that if we can find a bottom, right? Maybe we're bouncing off of 360. We're going to have to see. DWAC having an incredible day, right? Up 7%. And that means we're up $960. Nice on the day. Let's see if we can grow that to a little bit, to a 4-figure number. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it's looking good for DWAC. WBX is having a bit of a bullish movement as well. Nice. Yeah, we're up a couple bucks on pretty big volume on this bar, right? It just kicked in all of a sudden. Market open only had 70,000 shares traded. This bar right here had 500,000. Wow. Unfortunately, PHUN is continuing to tank down a little bit. This was kind of what I expected, right? PHUN has always performed a bit worse than DWAC. You can see we're down 15% on PHUN, and we're up 4% or 3.5% on DWAC as we are tanking a little bit. But PHUN has never really, other than the initial day when it started pumping, been as bullish as DWAC. It's always been a slightly more bearish play, right? A lot of the time you'll see the numbers on it, the percentage gain, and it's going to be much lower than DWAC typically. Okay, so Deborah Norwood says, what are you planning to sell DWAC at, or will you be holding for the merge? I would like to hold through the merge, but I think that's going to be a bit too long of a hold, right? I would rather get out of DWAC if we did see very high prices. I might hold to the merge because, if it doesn't actually get to a price target that I'm happy with, I would be willing to sell this at maybe 3, 4, $500, right? I'd probably start averaging out around 250 and then be fully closing my position at 500. But, I have been looking at the options, and I will pull this up for a second. The options for DWAC are fairly expensive, and if we do start to see a big rise, right, if we actually got to, intraday, if we started moving up into like maybe $150, if we actually did pump up that much, I might consider selling some call options, and that would obviously lock me into the stock for a bit because I'd have to hold until either the expiration of those call options or I would have to close out the call option positions. But looks like PROG is just starting to shoot up. I haven't been looking at this one, but yep, it's looking like we might be trying to test 4 again. Hopefully we can break through it, right? We don't want 4 to be what keeps us down. We'd rather that 4 be what keeps us up, right? We want to break through 4 and then start using that as a support. Not much has changed for the short interest on PROG. I'm looking at that over here. I'll pull that up for you guys for a second. The short interest is still 67%. There's not much the shorts can do other than cover because the utilization is so high. So the change is only 0.74% right now. They're really throwing everything they've got at it. We've got a 99.89% utilization. So things are looking good for PROG, I would say. So yeah, but for DWAC, I would be looking to hold for quite a while until probably around 250 is when I'd start averaging out. Maybe sell 50 shares, then maybe sell 50 at 350, then probably hold the rest until 500, the last 50. That would be my hope, right? Because if we did get to 500, that would only be an $18 billion market cap, just about, maybe a $19 billion market cap. So not out of the question, right? It would be obviously very steep. It would mostly be on not fundamentals of the company, but likely just on the hype and people holding shares, almost like people hold cryptocurrency. That's mostly what I think would be raising DWAC up to those levels. Matthew 707, PHUN and DWAC are done. Like I said, yeah, PHUN isn't doing great. DWAC, we're still going to have to see what happens with it, right? I still think that we might see some more buying pressure. It's not a guarantee, right? I'm comfortable holding this thing pretty far down, right? Because my cost basis is so low. It was only paying $24 per share at the time, so I'd be willing to hold this thing for quite a while on the chance that it does continue to move up. But yeah, it looks like you were right about PHUN, at least for now. PHUN we're down about 16%. That's not great to see. That could actually be good in the long run for DWAC if people start consolidating their capital and stop getting into all of these other plays. They might want to start moving their capital into DWAC and putting it all in one place. Now, it actually looks like WBX, a lot of you guys were talking about that, has been halted. So at 9:33, that was halted. That means we might be opening back up in another minute or so. And if not, then in another 5 minutes, we might be opening back up. And if not then in 25 minutes. Who knows how long this halt is going to last for, but it could end soon. Sky Kid sends rocket ships. Yeah, I hope. It looks like we're doing fairly well for PROG, right? We're up 14% on the day. We are struggling with 4. Let me actually draw just a resistance line because it looks like that will be acting as resistance for us on 4. So we're going to have to see what happens with that, but we are obviously struggling with it. You can see that we've bounced off a couple of times at market open, and then a couple minutes ago we just bounced off of it again. DWAC is only starting, says Corey 2SS. Yeah, I think so as well. That's I don't know if you're new to the stream, but you can see I am holding some DWAC shares. I'm expecting this to continue rising, and if it doesn't, it wouldn't be the most disappointing thing in the world. I'd be prepared to see this moving down, but ideally that wouldn't be the case, right? Ideally, we would see a lot of appreciation for this, and I think it could be likely, right? If we look at the market cap for DWAC, let me pull this up. It's 3.17 billion. So I do think that there's still a lot of room to grow with this company. I think 3.17 billion, while it is very high for a company that, it's still just a SPAC, it hasn't actually merged with Trump Media yet. I still think that there's a lot of room to grow, especially if you look. Let's pull this up. If you look at the shares outstanding, and I know I've already talked a ton about this, my own personal calculation for why I think DWAC will be moving up a lot is that there's only 36 million shares. You can see there are very many Trump supporters. Even if only 10% of them wanted to buy into this thing, they could eat up the whole float of this stock if they bought 5 shares each. So I really think that it's up to the retail investors on this one. I don't think institutions are going to be pumping this up too much. I think it's up to retail on DWAC. And it looks like retail is, at the moment at least, forsaking PHUN. Not many people are buying this dip, it looks like. It is just kind of shooting down. But the fact that DWAC is remaining solid throughout all of this, that we're still up 3% on the day when PHUN is down 17%, that doesn't surprise me. It actually encourages me to believe more in DWAC. Obviously, we could see some kind of dip. I wouldn't be surprised to see us dip down to 70 because that is where we ended up shooting down to on the very first day that we were really pumping up. After we had really pumped up, we did shoot down to 70 off of 175 and use that as a support. So it would not surprise me to see us go to 70 again. That would actually be a place where I'd like to probably buy some shares for a little swing. But I am hopeful for DWAC. Yeah, so DWAC only starting. That's my expectation as well. That's what I'm hoping for. It's not a guarantee. I did already secure profits on 50 of the 200 shares that I bought. So I could even hold this thing down to my cost basis of 24 and still be in the green, right? If I sold all of them then. So I'm not worried about losing money at this point on DWAC. I'm just seeing how high we can get it. And PROG, it looks like, is starting to make slightly higher lows, right? So hopefully we're going to be bursting above 4. We're not that far off. We're only about 19 cents off. And on a day as volatile as today, we could fill 19 cents in just a minute or so. So I am hopeful for PROG. It looks, you guys, for those of you who are new to the stream, you can see that we have been up massively in after hours because of some good PROG news. It looks like they reduced their outstanding debt by about $20 million. So pretty good stuff for PROG. It caused a big rise in share price, and that's continuing today, and that's what could really hurt shorts. When there are good catalysts coming out for a stock like this that is so heavily shorted, that's what shorts really don't want to see. That's when they start to get worried. And let's pull up Tesla for a second because Chuck Gaetano says Tesla's looking good. Let's pull up Tesla. Yeah, Tesla's looking really good. I am a holder of Tesla, so this is good news, right? We have been, actually, I'll pull up the year chart. We have been just shooting up over the past couple of months, and more so now that this Hertz news came out, right? Now that we know Hertz is going to be buying 100,000 Teslas, it's good news for Tesla stock, right? We are seeing a lot of volatility in the open, but we are up on the day, 1.85%. That's really good for a market cap this large. I think we broke the $1 trillion level on Tesla. Let me pull up Tesla's market cap. I think we got Tesla into the $1 trillion club. So let's see. I did read an article about that, I'm pretty sure. And METX is flying. Well, it looks like WBX is starting to tank a little bit after that halt. The halts really aren't too helpful for stocks, it seems. It seems like lately the halts have been hurting. So let's pull up METX. METX, yeah, it is up 45%. I believe this is the one that merged or formed some kind of partnership with a crypto mining firm. Maybe it is a crypto mining firm. It did something to improve its crypto mining abilities. Yeah, and a strategic partnership with METN for blockchain and cryptocurrency mining business. Yeah, okay, there we go. So METX is doing very well on that news. And let's pull up the market cap for Tesla. I was going to do that. Yeah, so Tesla's market cap, it is at 1.049 trillion. So yep, Tesla is officially a $1 trillion market cap company. Very impressive for Tesla. I'm sure Elon is happy about that. I'm sure the Tesla bears aren't, right? There used to be a lot of Tesla bears. For those of you who haven't been following Tesla for that long, way back when, 3 years ago, when this thing was, obviously post-split, it's much cheaper in comparison to how it was. It used to be around $180 at the time. Now it's only 40 because we did a 5-for-1 stock split. But there were a lot of Tesla bears, right, who just didn't like Tesla. Tesla was having a battle with the shorts. Elon would tweet about them from time to time, and they just got destroyed on this massive run-up. And now there are actually very few Tesla shorts. I think people realized that Tesla was a company that was going to be here for a long time. Let's pull up the Tesla short interest just for fun, because I think it is interesting to see. There used to be quite a few. I didn't have Ortex at the time, so I'm not sure exactly how many there were, but obviously, a lot of Tesla shorts did get hurt when that thing bumped up quite a bit. And you can actually see that today some shorts are covering on Tesla, right? Down 2.23%, brings us down to a short interest of only 4%, so very low. Really, not many people are shorting Tesla, and anyone shorting Tesla in the past is down on money because this thing is making all-time highs, it looks like. Yeah, all-time high, $1,050 reach right here on stream live. Very nice. Very nice for Tesla. It looks like we're sticking there for a little bit. 1049. So yeah, Tesla is doing incredibly well. I love Tesla stock. Love Elon Musk. Great company. 1052. New high on Tesla. Yeah, METX is starting to climb. We did sell off a little bit in early morning trading. We're going to have to see. Yeah, Tesla 1054. It's a beast. DWAC is dumping a little bit, though. We're going to see if we can maintain this level of the low that we ended up seeing, right? 78.83. We're going to hopefully stay above that so that we don't make a new low. It is unfortunate to see DWAC moving down. But, you know, at any point, we really could see some buying pressure come in. Ideally, that would be coming in the form of retail traders just buying in because they love Trump and holding shares. 78. Ooh, we did break that low. Jeez. Not great for DWAC. I guess we can get rid of this. Hopefully, we'll be bouncing off of 78. It's tough to say, though. This is pretty bearish, the fact that we've had quite a bit of volume trading us downwards. We're going to have to see. You know, I'm not too worried about DWAC. I've made quite a bit of money regardless on it. You know, even if we were at $40, I would have still made a fairly large profit on this stock. So I'm not too worried about how low it drops. But it is unfortunate to see, you know, this is the kind of thing that does dissuade some investors, but it also encourages others, right? Some people are just waiting for those dips to buy into them. Not everyone wants to buy up on the rallies. A lot of people understand that, you know, you end up getting hurt sometimes when you do buy up on the rallies, especially if you buy in at these higher prices. There's the real potential for loss. So a lot of people do like to buy on the dips, and we're going to have to see. Looks like we are bouncing off of 78 somewhat, right? We're going to have to see if that holds, though. Right, Tesla's just a beast, though. Tesla is climbing and climbing and climbing. Ambition 2020 says, can't find a keyhole. I'm stuck today. 0. Wow. Well, hopefully that doesn't stay all day. Hopefully you do find that keyhole. Hopefully something goes right. Yep. Hopefully DWAC starts to climb. That's the hope. PHUN is down massively. I will pull that up for just a moment. PHUN is down 25%. That really could be the end of PHUN stock, right? For the most part. I'm not saying it's going back down to its previous lows, especially if it does have a real tie to Trump Media Corporation, if it's going to. But it's most likely not going to be doing as well as DWAC. I don't expect it to, at least. So it looks like as of today, we are down about $700 on DWAC. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Hopefully, it won't be down, 1,000 or multiple thousands. That wouldn't be ideal. But anything can happen, and I think that you end up getting rewarded sometimes when you're willing to hold through the volatility. All right, METX is flying. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Martin. METX is moving up quite a bit. We're up 47%. Very good for this. Very cheap company too, share price wise, right? 56 cents per share, so not bad. Rob O'Mazy, the DWAC negotiation is done. Vivi Rutk says, let's pull that up. I believe that they did have a deal hammered out for DWAC with the Trump Media Corporation. So let's pull that up. Let's pull up the DWAC negotiation right here. So I'm not sure if it's completely finished yet, but you can see that, yeah, some shorts have been getting into DWAC, it looks like. It's dipped 10% after short sellers. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure if the deal is 100% hammered out for DWAC. But internet infrastructure company RightForge will host former President Trump's new social media platform. I wonder what the ticker symbol for Rightforge is. Let's pull that up. I'm curious about it. And Tim Blackburn says it was so important for PROG to open above 350. Yes, it was. Yeah, the fact that we're making all-time intraday highs is very important for PROG. And the fact that those 350 strike price call options are now in the money, very good for PROG stock. Hopefully we can maintain level above 350. We did get down to 357 at one point. Let's pull up Iron Forge. Let's pull that up. Oh, Right Forge. My bad. Iron Forge. It was pulling up World of Warcraft information. I wasn't sure why. Right Forge stock. Let's see. It looks like they might be private. Yeah, okay. So I don't think there's a ticker for Right Forge, unfortunately. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It doesn't look like there's a ticker for this new company that's going to be that was just announced to be hosting President Trump's new social media platform. That's too bad. All right. So what about NUE? Move up on Monday. Let's see, MUE. We'll get rid of Tesla for a minute. Tesla's just been trending up. We might pull that back up at some point, but NUE. Let's pull up NUE. So yeah, we did have a pretty good day on Monday, it looks like. Up about around close to 10%, maybe 8%. Let's see, what was the news for that? What happened there? Strengths in metals names. Okay. Okay, so is this Nucor, is that a mining company? Let's see, what does Nucor do? Yeah, NUE, it looks like... No, not this nootropics company. We want NUE, the mining company, if there is such a thing. Stock, NUE stock. Nucor. Producer of steel. Yep, related to products based in Charlotte, North Carolina. Is the largest steel producer in the United States, as well as the largest mini-mill steel maker. Yeah, so this one has been moving up. And yeah, definitely, I think that as inflation ramps up, a lot of the metal businesses will start to do much better because those metals, it's not going to cost them that much more to mine them, but they will actually be able to charge quite a bit more to sell them, right? And potentially it will cost them a little bit more in the terms of energy. Oil is rising as well, so energy is getting a bit more expensive. And it looks like we have 51 viewers right now. Let's see if we can bump the likes up to. Let's see if we can bump those up to 35, maybe 40, if everyone's in on it. If everyone wants to like the video, we could get this thing up to 50 technically. But let's just shoot for 35 or 40 because we've got quite a few viewers at this point, at least for how these streams typically go. So yeah, METX up 65%, very strong movement. It looks like who was calling that out? METX. Yeah, Martin Kong Oswald. He's been saying it's been flying, so it looks like he was right about that. It is doing very well. Looks like DWAC might be bouncing off of 76. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully we'll see that bounce, right? And it's not too late to have a higher low on DWAC if we do bounce off of 76, right? This could always be the new low that we've reached, right? We saw low at 70, then at 73. Hopefully 76 will be the low. I'd prefer not to bounce off of 70 again, but it could be good to get a couple more shares at 70, maybe. Maybe sell put contract. I do like selling those put contracts because either way you make some money, you collect the premium at the very least, even if it does move up. It was important for PROG to open above 350. Yep, we saw that already. OCGN says Ambition 2020. Yeah, let's take a look at that. OCGN, we're up 29% on the day. There must be some kind of news tied to this. In anticipation of a key meeting of the WHO, the World Health Organization Technical Advisory Group on whether to grant emergency use approval for the COVID-19 vaccine. Yep, okay. All right, so that is good news for OCGN. It's possible that will pass, so that would definitely serve to shoot this stock a lot higher. And it looks like we might be on the way to making all-time highs. We're not that far off. We're at 12. 1877 isn't out of the question if this company gets approval. So yeah, I could see us bumping up, not necessarily today, but over the next couple of days, I could see us continuing to skyrocket. Right, we have seen that kind of thing in the past. where we actually closed the day at 5 before, and then the next day was when we hit 1877. So not out of the question at all. If we close the day, above 12, we could definitely get there either tomorrow or over the next couple of days, depending on how that meeting goes. Trump is going on Fox News. Let's go DWAC. Yeah, let's see what happens with that. Let's see if we can pull that up. When is Trump going on Fox News? Let's see. Donald Trump is Republican. Let's see. Where is the Fox News on Fox News today? Is he going on Fox News today? Do you know, Stock Raider? Let's see. Because I'm not finding anything right now, but so far all I'm seeing is stuff, people on Fox News talking about Trump launching the social media platform. So we're going to have to see what happens. If at some point, maybe there will be a live stream of that we can pull up of Trump speaking. We can see how DWAC reacts to it. But it looks like we're down about 10% on the day for DWAC. Not the best. We're down $1,200. Still up 7,700 over the whole time that we've been in the trade. But we would like to see ourselves being up on the day every day. So it looks like PROG is starting to dip a bit, right? We're still up on the day, up about 6% on the day, bouncing off of 350. But that's not the direction that we wanted to see PROG go, right? We wanted PROG to move above 4 and then use that as support. However, we are actually bouncing off of 350, which was acting as a support for us in the pre-market. So not the worst case scenario. Ideally, what we really don't want to see with PROG is for us to return to this 280 to 320 range. That's what we really don't want, because then we've been trapped in there before. We want to see PROG continue to move up, because that's what's going to keep putting pressure on shorts. However, it looks like a lot of people may be taking profits on PROG stock, right? A lot of people might have been getting in over the past couple of days, and people might be happy with maybe a 10, 14% profit, which is why this thing has likely been selling off. Let me see if I can pull up any dark pool data for the shorts. So on Fintel, sometimes they have something about that. So PROG. We might be able to get something. All right, so we've got those 40 likes. Nice, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, and Vivi Rutk says 80% of Brazil population is waiting for DWAC Truth social media. Yeah, I have heard that. I think you may have mentioned that before. Yeah, I think a lot of people in Brazil might be waiting for that app. I'm not sure why in Brazil it's such a big deal, but that's good. So let's see if we can pull up the PROG short data. Let's see. Not here. This isn't what we want. PROG short interest. OCGN, lots of keyholes, in and out, take profits. Yep. Yep, it's looking good for OCGN. Let's see, PROG stock. We're having trouble finding this, but Kala Lily says, Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you as well, Kala. And Alejandro Ayala says, I'm new to trading, bro. I hope riding PROG out will be beneficial, lol. Yeah, well, it depends on, did you get in yesterday? Because if you did, then you're almost certainly up on this thing. Hopefully we'll be staying above 350, right? I don't want to see us drop below that, because that is where there are a lot of open. I'll pull up the call options for it, but you can see there are a lot of open interest call options at 350, 25,900. So, if we did drop below that, those would then be out of the money. And hopefully, if we can keep those in the money, some people who are selling those call options, some institutions, are likely going to have to be buying up PROG shares to cover those positions. Likely a lot of those were sold naked because institutions have been shorting PROG very heavily. We can pull that up as well. Right now we have Tesla, but let's look at PROG on Ortex. I'm hopeful. Looks like, yeah, shorts are doing all they can. They're up 1.7% short interest-wise today, but you can see that's nothing new, right? They've just been increasing this short interest day after day after day, pretty much never giving traders a break, just shorting this thing, shorting it, trying to push it down. unsuccessfully, right? Because we have just been reaching all-time intraday highs for this pump. So very good stuff for PROG. So like I said in the video that I released yesterday, the most promising short squeeze out there right now. Vivi Rook says they support Trump in Brazil. Yep, I bet they do. I bet they're waiting for that social media platform too. Alejandro says amen to that, bro. Yeah, PROG is looking pretty good on the day, even though we have been seeing a little bit of a pullback during the actual trading hours. We are still up 6%, which is really good. On days when you see a pullback and you're still up, that's amazing, because that just means you were pumping up really high in after hours. You can see we did pump up all the way to 646 in after hours on the news that PROG was going to be reducing their outstanding debt by $20 million through a private exchange for convertible senior notes. So really good news for PROG stock. Vivi Reptic says, could you please look at NNDM? Let's see. What does NNDM look like? Okay, up 2.51%. Maybe if we could break 6, that could be the beginning of something bigger. Let's see. At the 1 year. Okay, so we've just been downtrending now. I wonder what this company does. News. Okay, so it looks like it's being bought up by Cathie Wood, is the expectation right there. All right, so Cathie Wood is buying NNDM. Nano Dimensions. Oh, yeah. No, I've heard of... Okay, yeah, I've heard of Nano Dimensions. They're doing something cool. Let's pull up what their company does. So I think they're just kind of like a research and development into... Is it 3D printing? I think they're doing something with 3D printing. I haven't actually invested in them myself. They do look promising. I hold some ARK stock, or ARK's ETF, so I believe if Cathie Wood is buying it, then I am invested in it as well. Let's see, NNDM stock, what do they do? Okay. What does Nano Dimension stock do? Let's see. Okay, so they help defense companies meet strict timelines, produce fully functioning electronic circuitry, and protect their security-sensitive proprietary designs. Nice. Okay, so that's interesting. Matthew 707 says, will AMC ever squeeze? We were talking about AMC in the last stream. AMC, I did at one point hold one share of AMC. I got it as, I will pull this up, as a free referral stock, right? So let me show you guys what you can do if you're interested. Let me mute that real quick. So yeah, basically the way that I got my AMC stock was in the description of all of my videos, you see, even in the description of this live stream, there's a way you can get free stocks, and that is by using these referral links. I ended up getting a free stock of AMC on Webull because I also get those free stocks. So if you click those links, you can get some free stocks, and I will also get free stocks. Now, one of those was AMC, and I got it when it was around, let's pull up the AMC chart right here. So I got it, I believe, when it was around $36, and then I saw that it moved up to 42. 40 was likely going to be acting as some resistance, so I decided to sell above there, and we did end up moving down. So that was my one run-in with AMC. The only time that I've actually held it, and I wish that I'd gotten in way back when, because I definitely could have way back before these huge pumps. I even could have gotten in after the AMC or after the GME pump had moved it up to $10, right? That still would have been a great time to get in for AMC, but it looks like, potentially we did see a bit of a squeeze on it, because if we pull up the Ortex data on AMC, let's pull that up right here. It's not the highest short interest, unfortunately. It's only 16% short interest as a percentage of the free float. So it's really not as high as it could be. It doesn't look as promising of a squeeze as stuff like PROG, which if we look at PROG, I'll pull that up, short interest-wise, which some people are asking, can PROG hit $4? It certainly could. It did today even. It hit $4. But we've got 67% short interest on PROG. So very high right there. And, almost completely full utilization. PROG is looking a bit more promising than AMC does at the moment. A lot of people are going to hold AMC for the movement, and that's understandable. They can do that. But will it ever squeeze? I'm not sure. I think that it will maintain its value somewhat because people are going to hold it, though. So will PROG hit $4? Yeah, it already did hit $4. It actually got above $4. It was at $4.02 intraday, and it was at $6.46 in after hours. So PROG has been doing very well. They're still up 6.5% on the day on this news that they have reduced their debt by about $20 million through some convertible senior notes. So PROG is up pretty big, and it definitely could hit 4 again. Susan Burns says, time to get into DWAC. You know, Susan Burns, I think you might be a bot. I think you might be a bot, unfortunately. Some people have been pointing out that you just say things over and over about certain stocks and never respond to comments. You might be a bot. Maybe you're not. But if you're not, then say something more original, please. So PHUN is finished. Yeah, PHUN down 35%. Doesn't surprise me. This one seemed to not have as much longevity as DWAC. DWAC, though, is down 13%, so bad days for both of them. However, it's not necessarily over for DWAC. Hopefully it's not, right? That would be disappointing to see. It would be unfortunate to lose some of the money that has been accrued in it, but $70 could be acting as a support. We'll have to see what happens. This isn't something that can't be come back from. Obviously, over the next couple of days, retail might be buying into it more. And Viviretic says, at Susan Burns, yes, I will buy it too. Yeah, all right. And Viviretic also asked about GSAT. Yeah, I covered that stock way ago. GSAT, long time ago. I believe I hold some GSAT shares as well. And I was actually disappointed when it did pump up. Maybe it wasn't GSAT. Yeah, no, I think I do hold some GSAT shares. But I had sold some call options on them, and maybe those executed. It's tough to keep track of all the stuff in that account. But yeah, GSAT, Global Star, they did have some good news come out for them a while ago. It looks like they've been pretty stagnant since, though, just kind of trading around. So I'm not sure if this will pump or what, but we've got it right there. We'll pull up PHUN again because this one really is dumping. It's interesting to see. Yeah, so it looks like DWAC and PHUN are once again moving in sympathy with each other. They both kind of stagnated around the same time. So we'll have to see. He is risen, says, lost all my gains on BKKT going back into DWAC. Yeah, BKKT, we'll pull that up for a second, but DWAC does seem like the most promising of the Trump pump stocks because it is the one that's actually going to be merging with them. And if you look, you can see that it is still up very high, actually. It's still 7x from where it initially was trading. So DWAC does look very promising to me. I do think that 70 could act as a support for it. Obviously, we'll have to see what happens if we can bounce off of it. That would be nice. OCGN, get in, get out, get this easy money. Lots of good profit in, out. Still going after 10 a.m., which is odd. Let's see, OCGN. Yeah, it's up 30% on the day now. Doing pretty good. Yeah, there are opportunities to make some easy money, it's looking like. Not necessarily easy, right? You got to know what you're doing, but there are some opportunities. I've not been trading OCGN, actually. I have seen it on the leaderboards for StockTwits day after day after day. It looks like it lost its spot to DWAC and Tesla, but it has been on leaderboards for a while, right? A lot of people have been trading this one over the past couple of weeks. So yeah, a lot of people in OCGN, probably a lot of people making money, but on the flip side, there's going to be a lot of people losing money as well. So what is the goal price for PROG? It's tough to give an end goal price, right? Because this is, in addition to being a short squeeze play, potential gamma squeeze and just momentum play, right? If you look a year ago, it was at $8. So it's tough to say how high this could go. It really depends on how high people are willing to take it. Tough to say, to the dollar how high it could go. But the point is that the short squeeze has not happened yet, right? The point is that people are expecting it to go higher. If you look at the short interest on PROG, it's 67.3%. We're up 1% on the day. Shorts are really throwing everything they've got at PROG, trying to push it down. You can see the utilization is 99.89%. So there are very few shares left to short. So PROG still has not yet gone through the squeeze that a lot of people are hoping for, and we'll pull it up here as well. You can see the options open interest activity. There's 25,000, almost 26,000 open interest call options for the $3.5 strike, and 14,000 for $4. So it really could rise quite a bit. We would just need to see another burst of movement upwards, right? That doesn't get killed off. If this thing opened at 646, it could really be shooting up. However, it did get killed off. A lot of people ended up taking profits. I think that we would need to see some more diamond handsers in this thing, fewer paper hands, and unfortunately, it seems like oftentimes the diamond hands don't get rewarded as much as the paper hands. Sometimes you can end up getting into a trade. Say you got in at 342 and then you sold at 646. Well, you made a ton of money, and then you can buy back in at 350 something. So oftentimes they do end up making more money. So Chuck Gaetano, internet infrastructure company RightForge, will host former President Trump's new social media platform. Sold everything, going in to focus on DWAC and Shiba, says Laura Rogers. So yeah, for Chuck, internet infrastructure company, we did talk about that a little bit. We'll pull that back up. DWAC. We've got the news right here that, company RightForge will be hosting President Trump's new social media platform. So I did look for RightForge, couldn't find a ticker for it, so I believe it might be private. And Laura Rogers says, sold everything, going to focus on DWAC and Shiba Inu. Yeah, Shiba Inu is an interesting one. I hold a little bit of Shiba Inu. I'll pull that up on Coin Market Cap. I hold it in Webull, and I bought in. I more than doubled the money that I had in it. It looks like we might be up massively on the day. Yeah, so we just made all-time highs on Shiba Inu again. Very nice. Yeah, if you look at the past month, I'll pull this up. Shiba Inu, once again, pumped up a little bit more. It's getting very tough for Shiba Inu, though. If you look, you can see that it is already the number 11 largest market cap crypto at $18 billion. So a lot of people are pumping money into this. It's going to be interesting to see how high it can get, right? Dogecoin is at 35 billion. A lot of people are just holding that. I'm holding some as well. I did sell most of mine when it was at 40-something cents per share on its initial pump up, though. But I am still holding a couple thousand worth. Shiba Inu, I only have like $70 worth at this point. I just bought in on Webull. I bought like $200, and then it tripled or something, and I sold most of it. Now I'm still holding like $70 worth of it. But I didn't have as much faith. I didn't think it could go as high as Dogecoin market cap wise, and it looks like so far that's held true. However, it is still in its bull cycle. If you looked at it, we are moving up today as well. So we're going to have to see what happens with it. But it has been doing very well over the past week, I'll admit. Keeping an eye on Mark. Yes, I will look at Mark in just a second. That is something people have been asking for. M-A-R-K. Looks like we're not doing great, and that's not necessarily unexpected, right? All these Trump pump stocks have been suffering a bit. Even DWAC, even the big dog, is suffering. But Mark, doesn't surprise me that it's suffering more than most, right? Down 26%. Most of that happened a lot of that happened in after hours. Some happened in the actual trading. But yeah, Mark isn't doing great either, unfortunately. I am, like I said, the most bullish on DWAC. I think that's the main one that people are going to want to get back in on. Ariana Layden says, loading back up on DWAC, waiting for the Trump news or rallies. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to wait for. Someone was saying Trump will be speaking on Fox today. I'm not sure if that's correct. And Vision 2020 says, yes, we just need to burn more Shiba. We will to the moon for sure. Yeah, so, I haven't kept up too much with the Shiba Inu coin news because I haven't had the most money invested in it, only a couple $100, so I wasn't too worried about it. However, what I am curious about with the burns is, who's burning their coins? Like, whose coins are going to be burnt? I assume, the whole thing is owned by somebody, so if coins are getting burnt, I assume they belong to someone, so whose is it, and why are they burning them? That's what I'm not sure about Shiba Inu coin. I haven't done too much research into it. I have heard about the burns. I have heard about the Robinhood potential listing that it might have, but I'm just not sure why the coins would be burnt. I obviously haven't looked too far into it. And Sky Kid says GNUS is gaining volume. Let's look at that. And then we'll look at PROG. Jaden Lopstein is asking for PROG, so we'll look at that in a second. So yeah, pretty high volume on GNUS. We had a lot yesterday as well. So let's see what the news was. What pumped this thing up? Announced investor call to discuss a positive business development. So let's see. When is that call going to be released? That will host a conference call at 10:30 a.m. on Wednesday the 27th to discuss a positive business development. Okay, so this might be buy the rumor, sell the news situation, right? This thing might continue moving up in expectation of that, business call that they're going to have on Wednesday at 10:30. So Wednesday at 10:30 is likely going to be a very pivotal time for GNUS stock. If the news is really great, then it could serve to pump this thing up quite a bit more. But you already see how much the news that they were just having a positive business development call spiked the stock up. So quite a bit. That's interesting to see. I'm not sure if I want to get in on this and just take a gamble on whether or not, that is actually really positive news that comes out, because it could spike up more, but we're already up so much. It seems like there is a lot of potential downside all the way down to 130 if it's no good, if it's not good news. And June Cartwright says, I know a lot of people still waiting for deposits to get DWAC. Yeah, June Cartwright, you might be a bot. I'm starting to get an eye for who these bots are. So, surely there are some people still waiting for deposits to get into DWAC. You can see we're having a little bounce off of 70. Hopefully that holds. We'll have to see. But with PROG, I will zoom in a little bit. It looks like we are, unfortunately, following a very somewhat almost predictable pattern. Very interesting how we just keep having these really big red bars followed by really big green bars, but they do end up making new lows for us, right? You can see here, and then here, and then here as well. We keep having that same kind of pattern over and over again. It's very interesting to see. However, at any point, this thing could turn around, right? I think we're still up on the day, and we're still holding fairly well at 350, right? The fact that we did bounce off here and haven't been able to maintain our level below when we tried is fairly bullish for PROG stock. So I'm hopeful for this one, right? It's not guaranteed that it's going to keep moving up. We are, still up on the day, but at any point that could turn around. What we don't want, though, what we really don't want is to get back into the $3.20 to $2.80 range. That would be not ideal. We don't want to get back into this zone that you can see we've been in the past for a while, right? We ended up getting stuck in there for a little bit. We want to stay above it. We want to potentially use 320 as support if we do continue trending down. That would be an ideal situation. An ideal situation, we would just start trending up right now. But a bounce off of 320 is not a bad thing. So let's see. We got a lot of comments to go through. It didn't take market makers long to get PROG under control. Got to keep buying. Yeah, who knows? Have they been getting halted? I have not been keeping an eye on PROG as closely as some other ones. I haven't seen if they've been getting halted, but burning is good tokenomics, this guy could. Yeah, that's good. I'm just curious whose coins are the ones getting burnt. So Ambition 2020 said, coins are creators. Burns can be given to charity, etc., then discarded to lower the available amount. Thus, the more rare, the more costly. Yeah, yes. So burns can be given to charity, etc. So is it a burn if you give the coins to charity? Because I assume that they would then need to turn those coins into cash somehow to spend them. And then discarded. I guess, I suppose you may as well just give the cash to the charity, though. If you I'm not quite sure how giving the coins to charity is burning them. But I do understand that burning them lowers the available amount. That burning them is when you destroy them, I assume, or send them to a wallet where they can't be retrieved. So, yeah, the more rare, the more costly, definitely. But I'm just curious, who's burning them? Who's giving away their coins? Tim Blackburn says, we don't want to give the 3.5 level back to shorts on PROG. Yeah, we don't. It looks like we are struggling with that right now. We're really going to have to try and hold it, right? It looks like volume has been decreasing, unfortunately. We have been seeing lower and lower volume bar after bar. So it might give it back. Ambition 27 or Ambition 2020, block the bot. Which one is the bot? Is it June Cartwright? I'm not sure. It might be. I'm also not sure how to block people. Okay, and Omar W says, sold everything for Trump stock. BBIG CEO is awful, so I sold. Yeah, that was really unfortunate. We'll pull up BBIG, what they did with the Tide dividend. We can pull that news up for those of you who don't know about it. But there was a lot of... We'll pull up BBIG in a second. Here we go. So for those of you who are unaware of BBIG stock, let me pull up what was initially going on with BBIG. So initially, the reason why BBIG was pumping up, and a big reason why a lot of shareholders existed for it, was because of this, the release of the Tide dividend. So basically, Tide, TYDE, was going to be the ticker symbol for a company that was given out as a dividend for holding BBIG. And you can see that's this stock in the bottom left that we've got. So it was pumping up in expectation that on October 22nd there would be a record date for this dividend. And a lot of people wanted to be holding it before then so that they could get in on the new company and just basically get free shares of this company. However, what happened before then was there was an SEC filing, which I'll also pull up here. Let's see those SEC filings, which essentially delayed the date of the Tide dividend. That's not the right one. Here we go. I think this is it. Yeah, so here it is. This essentially delayed the filing, and I'll get myself out of the way for a second, until 60 days post this new form, which they expected to be completed on October 25th. So December 27th was the date of the new filing, the new record date for the Tide dividend spinoff. So basically, they just delayed it by about 2 months, and that disappointed a lot of people because BBIG then proceeded to dump massively in after hours. You can see right here, it dumped massively on that news when it came out. A lot of people lost a lot of money, and it was very unfortunate for people holding the stock at that time. So Abdulazeen Alizawi says, should I buy BBIG right now? We are holding fairly well at $5, right? We have been using $5 as a support in the past. So, potentially if you want to get in very close to 5 and then set a tight stop loss, that might not be the worst idea. Say if it gets below maybe its old lows of 477, that might not be the worst. This isn't personalized financial advice. This is just what I might consider if I were to take a trade on BBIG. However, the dividend isn't coming out for a while, so you may want to just hold on and hold your horses on BBIG. Wait a couple of months until the dividend is a bit closer. This maybe when you see some momentum pushing this thing up again, get in on a momentum play potentially. That's just how I might be trading it. But I can't give personalized financial advice. I'm just saying, in a couple of months is when I would really expect to be seeing this thing start moving up. When we get closer to the Tide dividend, closer to December 27th is when that thing is going to be recorded. So maybe around then we might see another rally up in price. Hopefully $5 will hold until then, though. Hopefully it will. We'll see. And Ambition 2020 says, no, actually it can be PR. Some charities have asked for these coin creators to quit giving them coins, but it works. See, wow, man, why would they want to stop getting coins? The coins seem like free money. I'll take any coins if the creators want to give them to me. Tim Blackburn says, if we can make this price consolidation, we are Gucci on PROG. Yeah, hopefully we won't drop below 350. Hopefully not. We have had a couple of bounces off of it, so we're going to see if we can hold that. That would be nice. Yeah, PROG is looking not bad right now, the fact that we are consolidating above 350. I agree with you on that, Tim. So, Ambition 2020 OMG day traders, please get this OCGN in and out over and over as much as you have time to make, like ping pong. Yeah, let's take a look at OCGN again. Let's pull that back up. Yeah, it looks like there is some nice in and out action, in and out. Yep. Yeah, definitely some opportunities in OCGN. Definitely Ambition. Glad to hear that you're making money on it. SDC says Moto GTE. Let's pull up SDC. I haven't watched that in a little bit. Oops. So we're up 1.3% on the day. Now, this was getting touted at one point as the son of all short squeezes, so we're going to have to see if it can live up to the name, because I've really yet to see a massive rally in SDC stock price, right? The biggest rally we got was from 5 to 7, so a decent rally, but not the biggest, not this short squeeze rally that we were promised. And I will pull up SDC on Ortex so that we can see how it's been doing lately. But I will say it's not been the largest rally that we've ever experienced. Now, SDC has been doing, it's a decently high short interest, right? If you look at it, it's a 32.59% short interest. We have it right here as a percentage of the free float, up 2.29% short interest change-wise. So today people are shorting SDC more heavily, but we're still green. So that's actually good for the stock. But at one point, I would see a lot of spam comments, likely bots, saying that that AMC was the mother of all short squeezes, GME was the father, and SDC was the son of all short squeezes. And I'm not sure about that yet. I've yet to see SDC really spike up. We only saw about a 50% increase in price, and that was over the course of a while, and there were lots of gyrations in it before then, right? So who's to say if it's really the son of all short squeezes? We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully it does pump up a bit and people can make some money on it. But I'm just not too sure yet. I'm not too sure. Okay, so Randy the Ape selling everything for DWAC. Randy the Ape might even be a bot too. I don't know. A lot of people now. I'm very suspicious of all of these comments. We've talked about a lot of bots potentially being here, and people who keep talking about DWAC might be bots. It's possible. I'm not sure why they would be on my stream, but hopefully Randy the Ape isn't a bot. I feel like I've heard a lot of comments from him. And KTZ, not financial advice. Yeah, definitely not. Nothing here is financial advice. That's all in the description of the video. And what's also in the description of the video is the opportunity to get some free stocks. If anyone's interested, you can get some free stocks. On Webull, you can get up to $2,300 worth of free stocks in the description of this video, in the description of the live stream, in any one of my videos. You got a bunch of opportunities. If you don't have brokerage accounts with any of these brokerages, you can get free stocks. I like to give these things away to people. Instead of, some streamers will try and sell programs and whatnot, but I much prefer to just give people free stocks. If you want, you can click on any of these links and basically just get free stocks for opening up accounts if you don't have accounts with those brokerages yet. So it's free money. You may as well get. I just got a share of Apple from Robinhood the other day, $150 worth of Apple, 140, whatever it's worth. So what a battle at 350 on Prog. Yeah, it's interesting. It's tough. We're hopefully going to see an increase in volume. Maybe some traders will start trying to bounce this thing off 350 and get us moving back up to 4. That's the hope, right? We are still up 3% on the day, even at 350. So even if we kind of stay stagnant here, people have made money on this over the course of the day just holding it. But we would like to see a continuation in the rise of the price. The closer we are to 350, the easier it's going to be for shorts to potentially manipulate this thing either through propaganda or whatnot. Just to push it down, because they really can't short that much more on Prog. I'll pull that up. They really can't short that much more, but they don't want it to be above 350. If you look at the call options, I'll pull this up for Prog real quick. 25,000 open interest call options at $3.50. So we really don't want to drop below that. Ideally, we'll be staying above 350, and ideally, we'd be moving above $4. That's what we really want to see. But we'll have to see what happens with it. All right. So DWAC just broke below 70. That is unfortunate. It looks like we're down about $2,000 on the day, still up $6,000 all time. So not super worried about this. But we will be holding DWAC for a while at least. We'll be holding it for a while. I am hopeful. And obviously, we could be holding this, and it could drop all the way down to say 24. I'd probably get out at my average cost, right, at 24.18 is when I'd probably get out. I don't think that we would drop down that low. This is still the Trump stock, and I do think that we could see a lot more people getting interested in it. And just because, we have bounced up a ton, just because we aren't at all-time highs doesn't mean that this stock isn't still doing relatively well, right? We're still up over the course of the past, if we look at the past 5 days, we were trading at $13 when we opened 5 days ago. Just about. So, or rather, no, we were trading at $10 just 5 days ago. So, we're still up massively. I'm not too worried about DWAC. Rich M says that he's holding DWAC as well. Yeah, I think DWAC is going to be a good one to be in. So, I'm going to be holding for a bit. Looks like we are getting beaten down on Prog, though. Sometimes you have bearish days. Sometimes the activity is a little bit more bearish. It looks like the S&P is up. Gold and silver are down. That's interesting to see. Typically, the more risk on people are, which you can see with the VIX, or the more risky people perceive it is, typically you would see the S&P moving down a little bit. But we are actually moving up with the S&P and down with these riskier stocks. So, yeah, we've got 56 likes at this point. We got 66 viewers. So let's see if we can bump that up 4 likes. Let's see if we can get to 60 likes on the stream, get some more people in the stream, get this chat rolling. Let's see if we can do that. That would be nice. If we could bump this up a little bit more. We're at 59. We're very close. We just need one more like to get to 60. We're very close. So, yeah, if we could do that, that would be awesome. We just need one more person to do it. Nice. 60 likes. We did it. Awesome, guys. Thank you very much. We do try to get the stream out to as many people as possible just so that we can get the comment section rolling. And Hike the Earth says, hit the like. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, some people for whatever reason don't listen to my voice. Maybe they've muted it. They're just looking at the screen. And they do end up reading the chat somewhat, though. So, yeah, look at that. We can instantly see the analytics are moving up. We just got a burst of a couple more people joining the stream because the like button was hit so many times. 63 likes. That means, YouTube typically takes that as a sign that more people are interested in the video. So, yeah, SkyKid is sending flames. We do need some flames. We need some flames to heat these stocks back up, right? We're down 17% on DWAC. Ideally, we would break back above 70. We want to see 70 act as a support. We don't want to see it start acting as resistance. Hopefully we'll be moving up with this one. It's tough to say, though. I am still holding my shares, down about 2,200 on the day, up 6,700 since open. So we're still doing relatively well. The cost basis for that was $24.18 per share. So we're still up pretty big. So I'm not too worried about that. I already sold 50 shares. I bought 200 initially and sold 50 of them at 30 something when we were still on the rise. And I will be holding these for a while, right? I'll either be holding these likely until it goes back to 24 perhaps. Maybe at 30 is when I would consider selling, right? If we did end up just seeing this whole thing crash and we went down to 30, that might be a time to consider selling them for me, just because I'd still like to see some profit on it. And at 30, that would really be the end of this whole thing. But I'm not too concerned at 70, right? 70 is still a very elevated price. Even 60 is fairly elevated. Past that point is when I would worry a bit more that the momentum was dying on it. But it is worth noting that the lower this thing goes, the more accessible it becomes to a lot of the retail traders, which are the ones that I actually expect to be buying this thing up and holding it, pumping it up over the long term. Jim Haney says, greetings from Atlanta, found you last night. Yeah, probably on the PROG video that I released. And it looks like we have had some pretty good action with PROG. We were up at $6.46 in the pre-market off of this PROG news. I'll pull it up for you since it looks like you might be new to the stream, Jim. Basically, PROG reduced their outstanding debt by $20 million through a private exchange of convertible senior notes. So we did end up pumping up quite a bit in the pre-market, up to $6.50, and have since faded away. Right now, we're struggling to hold $3.50. We really want to hold that level because that's where there are a lot of open interest call options for PROG stock. I'll pull those up. We've got 25,900 open interest call options at the $3.50 strike price. So hopefully we will be able to hold above that level. It looks like we have dipped below. We're at $34.95, $34.99. Hopefully we're going to be able to hold above $3.50, but we'll see. Is CRTD a done deal? Let's take a look at that. That's the Trump NFT one, says JD Gaz. Down 6% on the day. We did see a spike up in pre-market right as we opened. Let's see. Pulling back from Monday, so price of a registered direct offering. Okay, yeah. So they are doing a direct stock offering. That's definitely going to kill the price off a little bit. It might not be the best one to hold, right? CRTD, I'm pretty sure that's the Trump NFT. But I'm not sure if it's completely done, right? If we do see a rally in DWAC, it's likely that the other stocks like PHUN, CRTD, MARK would come back in a minor way, right? So it's not guaranteed that this thing is going to continue sinking. but it's not the one that I would be getting in on, right? DWAC is the one that I tend to believe in the most. And Chuck Gaetano says, sorry, I tried again today. Only one like loud. Yeah, that's I think that's how it's going to be. YouTube has probably dealt with that kind of stuff before, Chuck, but thank you for trying. And JD Gaz says, yes, yeah. No, yeah. I mean, CRTD, it could potentially be over the long term. Who knows what they could do? They've obviously had big spike ups in the past, but it looks like this might be the end of this spike up. Oftentimes, these stocks do return to their prior levels. So, I wouldn't be looking to short it because that seems a bit risky at the moment, because you never know when these are going to pump up again. But I would not be looking to buy it. That's where I stand on CRTD. Yep. So let's see. We are still battling at 350 with PROG, but it looks like we might be winning the battle, right? We are above. Hopefully, we can maintain that level. Let's draw a little bit small line on 350. Hopefully, it won't become too persistent of a level that we have to worry about. The hope is that by the end of the day, we'll have moved up. But we will draw that little red line right there just to see. Ideally, we'll stay above it, but looks like at the moment we are dipping down just a little bit. For DWAC as well, right? We're at 68 right now. And this isn't the best look for DWAC. Obviously not, right? People don't want to see the stock dropping. We can actually pull up a better chart than that over the past 5 days. But if you really look at it, it's not that bearish, right? You see that we shot it massively, got killed off by some halts over here when we were at 175. And while we have been sinking a bit, we're still not really that far out of this range. It's not out of the question to see us rebound in a medium to large way, get back above 70, and just be in this range for a while, right? That would not surprise me. And, stocks can't just shoot up to astronomical heights all at once. Oftentimes, they do need little breaks to consolidate for a bit, especially when the stock isn't just being manipulated by institutions. When it's retail, people are tending to take a little bit more time with their trades. They're not trading with algorithms. Instead, they're looking at the charts, and they do want to see some consolidation just so that they know a stock price isn't just going to crash as soon as they buy in, right? They want to see reliable support and resistance levels, and that does tend to build faith in the stock. And especially since this stock is likely going to be getting pumped by retail, not by institutions, I do expect that we're going to need to consolidate for a bit. So I'm not too worried about dropping. That's just how the game is played. So Chris Powell says, I'm comfortable selling covered calls on BBIG now. I've actually made all that I lost back. Yeah, so let's look at BBIG, the call options. So, yeah, there's definitely, there's the opportunity to be making some money in call options on BBIG. Even if you're just selling them, at $6, you can still make 25 cents per share just to hold them to November 5th. So that might actually not be a bad idea, considering where we're at and the fact that we do have a $5 support level. Might not be a bad idea just to be holding this thing for a little bit, selling call options. I definitely do tend to prefer selling the ones that are at closer strike dates because those are still rather expensive. And, you can then just keep rotating them, right? As we reach the October 29th strike date, then you can either buy those back for, a penny or two and sell some November 5th ones, or you could wait all the way through expiration if you want. So definitely some money to be made selling covered call options. I'm a huge fan of covered call options because there really isn't any risk to you, right? Especially if you're selling them out of the money. There's really no risk other than holding the stock, which I assume people selling those call options are selling them just because they hold the stock and they were going to hold it regardless. So it really is a way to make some extra cash. I definitely do it in some of my accounts. Not this one, just because TD Ameritrade doesn't have the best options trading capabilities, right? And options tracking. I prefer Robinhood for that because it's very clear, and it's very clear about what you're trading and how much money you've made, how much you've lost, what it's being covered by. It doesn't let you make uncovered call option trades, so it's very safe. So that's the platform that I like using for selling those covered call options. But yeah, TD Ameritrade is great for charting. So we'll pull it back up DWAC, see what's going on with it. It looks like we are continuing this downtrend. We're down about 21% on the day. Not great to see, right? We don't want to see that, but sometimes you got to see it to keep playing the game, right? If you're in a stock, sometimes it goes down 20%, but oftentimes, Well, not, I shouldn't say oftentimes, but sometimes it goes up, 10x, right? Or 17x in this case. It was up at 175 from 10. So you always stand to make a lot more than you stand to lose, is how I view it. That's how I view it now. We've got 65 likes. I know we just asked for likes a little bit ago. Let's see if we can get to 70, though. We actually got to 65 fairly easily, right? I asked for 60, I think. We got to 65 instead. We got 66 viewers, so it's possible that everyone in the stream has already liked it except for one person, but we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. We are actually moving up on PROG, right? We're bouncing off of 350, it looks like. We're up at 361. Hopefully that will continue. Not guaranteed, though, but yeah, 363. This is looking good. The big green bar, decent amount of volume. We'll zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, that's looking good on PROG. I am hopeful. We're at 68 likes, so we only need 2 more to get to 70. Let's go. 69 says Grim Reefer. Yeah, we're not that far off. We're not that far off. Just need a couple more to get the stream out to a couple more people. CRTD. Yeah, we've been doing decently, right? This has actually been doing better than DWAC. We're only down 3% on CRTD, so not bad on it, I'll admit. CRTD has been doing decently well. Let's see what MARK is doing. Yeah, we've been dipping a bit on MARK, down 25%, very similar to DWAC. PHUN is likely, down 32%. Yeah, they're experiencing something very similar. All of these Trump pump stocks are taking a bit of a dip, but I do think that, come a time when Trump starts talking, Jehovah says DWAC will come back. I believe it will. I'm still holding my shares. For those of you who haven't been watching my past streams, I have 150 shares that I bought at 24.18. So we're up 6K overall, but down 2,600 on the day. So not great. Not great on the day, but, I'd rather just hold the stock and not take the chance, because you never know when this thing is going to blow up. You never know when it's going to blow up. So I'd rather not take the risk of missing out on that. I'd rather take the risk that we see some of these somewhat healthy dips, right? 20% isn't the healthiest. I would much prefer if we had bounced right off of 70 instead of maintaining our level below it. So it's not the healthiest dip, but I am still confident in DWAC at the moment. If I wasn't, then I'd be selling. So I do still believe in DWAC. I don't think that you can judge based off of these minute-to-minute candlesticks where the price will be going long-term. These are, potential indicators for the rest of the day. You could see this break below 70, and potentially we could be dipping down to 60. We'll see, though. We'll see. I'm not going to get out of this anytime soon, though, most likely. Did I miss an update on OCGN? Says Charlene Kosejlia, something like that. You did miss an update on OCGN. We were discussing it. There have been a lot of opportunities to buy in before these big pumps, and then sell at the top before it drops down a little bit. We have been on a fairly predictable upwards pattern, so there's been little opportunity to lose money on it unless you are buying at the top of these peaks. Typically, though, you want to wait until the stock drops a little bit and starts to consolidate, because that actually is an indication of when it's going to pump up next, right? So OCGN has been doing fairly well, and it is on the news that they're anticipating a key meeting with the World Health Organization Technical Advisory Group on whether to grant emergency use approval for the COVID-19 vaccine of OCGN's partner, India-based Bharat Biotech. So they are pumping up quite a bit on that news, and it has pretty much just been a straight line since market open, right? We saw a couple of red bars at market open, but since then we have just been trending up. So it's been relatively easy to trade from the look of it. Zach just tweeted MYST. All right, let's pull up Zach Morris's Twitter, and let's pull up MYST. Oh, MYSZ, my bad. MYSZ. There we go. Yeah, so no surprise that as soon as Zach tweets that this thing starts shooting up, it looks like it got halted, actually. So yeah, let's pull up Zach Morris on Twitter. Let's see what Zach tweeted about MYSZ. Okay, so yeah, 10 minutes ago about, so around when it started moving up, MYSZ is up 40%, but I think it can do 100% to 200% in this crazy market. Day trade, maybe overnight. Don't go all in on these. Look at that. Yep. So, and then he also had this picture. Awarded contract from Dockers from Turkey. All right. So, the developer and creator of Innovative Measurement Solutions is pleased to announce that it has been awarded a contract from Dockers, an American brand of garment and other accessories from Levi. Nice. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, good fundamental news for the company. And now Zach Morris is tweeting about it. So, that's always good. As long as Carousel Capital doesn't come in and short the thing and put out a big report about it. So, yeah, we're seeing a little bit of a pullback on MYSC. But this will be an interesting one to watch. It looks like we might actually find some support at 169, 170. Yeah, so there we go. And we got to 73 likes, guys. Awesome. Thank you very much. That's what we like to see. More people getting in the stream. We can see with the analytics, we have just been climbing and climbing and climbing. So more people are watching every hour. It seems like the number just increases. So good job. Thank you guys very much. It is a lot more interesting. The more people we've gotten here, the more comments we get going. The more people like Grim Reefer, who just mentioned MYSZ, and Zach Morris. So I appreciate that when you guys call out these plays. It's nice for everyone to see them, and gives people the opportunity to start doing their own research to potentially get in on them. So that is a good thing. All right. So let's actually take a look. I'm curious about MYSC, what else they have going for them. My size. Let's see. No, nothing really short interest wise. Not very high short interest. I'll pull it up here for a second. Only 4.55% of the short interest is 4.55% of the free float is shorted. So relatively low. Not much to look at short interest wise. We won't worry about that. But D. Roan says, "Hey Rob, I like your style. IDEX is something to watch if EVs continue to be bullish." Okay, let's take a look at that. Let's get rid of Zach Morris for a second. Look at IDEX. IDEX. Now let's see, what does this company do? Okay, so they've been stagnant for the past 30 days, past year. Okay, I think Ideanomics. Yeah, no, I've seen this on Robinhood. They're a popular stock on Robinhood. I'm not sure what they do though. Let me look that up real quick. IDEX. They are a global electric vehicle company that is focused on driving the adoption of commercial electric vehicles and associated sustainable energy consumption. I'll pull this up for everyone who's interested. The subsidiaries of the company include VIA Motors, Solectrac, Treelectric, Wave, and US Hybrid. So that's interesting. Let's see what the market cap is on IDEX. Because I have heard IDEX a lot, right? On Robinhood, it is one of the most popular. It tends to trend on Robinhood's most popular watch lists. So market cap, just under $1 billion, it looks like. Yeah, so I agree with you. It is something to watch if EVs continue doing well, but more specifically, EVs are almost certainly going to continue doing well. What's more important, I think, for it is if they begin doing well for EVs, if they actually have, I'm not sure if they have a car out for sale or what, but a lot of those smaller market cap companies don't yet have products out. I know that much. So I'm not sure if they do have any products for sale or if they're mostly just in the research and development phase of their startup or their fund. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. I have been watching IDX though on Robinhood. I've definitely seen it from time to time. It looks like it is a relatively illiquid stock, though. You can see typically when you see bars like this that just go from cent to cent, it means the stock is a little bit illiquid, at least when compared to other stocks. Like if you look, let's take a look at Sundial. Hopefully Sundial doesn't embarrass me. It's a little illiquid at the moment, but typically, if you saw this thing going from cent to cent, that's how you would know. There really aren't too many people trading it. However, you can see there's more variance in the size of the bars, and maybe that means the algorithms are paying a little bit more attention to it. But with IDEX, it's a little illiquid, which can be good initially to get in on, right? Especially if you're in it for the long term and you expect it to do very well over the long term, because that means there can be a lot of appreciation in the price as it becomes more liquid. And D-Ron says, I was going to give you a tip, but for some reason it won't let me. Yeah, I think that's because you need 10,000 subscribers before you start having channel memberships and all that. But I appreciate it, man. we'll get to 10,000 one day. Uh, yeah, so I don't think they let you tip smaller streamers, but I appreciate that, D-Brown. Very nice of you. With DWAC, it looks like we are sitting at 65. Maybe we found a new support. I guess we can get rid of these lows right here because they're no longer applicable. They only looked nice when we hadn't made a new low on the stock, so that's unfortunate. And yeah, D-Ron understands. Oh, lol, okay. Yeah, YouTube is interesting. I think they used to let you do it, but lately they've been tightening up the restrictions. I think, that's YouTube. They've got to make sure there's a certain standard, I guess, that they have on the platform. They don't want people, I think, scamming, right? They don't want some bots to come in, get a couple thousand subscribers, and then maybe start a live stream and scam people, say, hey, donate money to me, and I'll send you back double or something like that. Probably something like that they're doing to protect people. That's likely their justification for it. So let's see, with IDEX, what have we got? I did want to look into that a little bit more. Okay, so looks like shares outstanding. Yeah, 479 million. So decent number of shares outstanding. With that, I would like to see slightly larger volume. Right, we used to have much higher volumes for this stock, so it has kind of faded away, which does indicate that it could be a good buy right now. Right, the fact that it is a little bit forgotten about, that not too many people are talking about this or trading it. That's typically one of the better times to buy stocks before they actually get a lot of attention. That's what Warren Buffett always advocates. He always says, when people are fearful, be greedy, and when people are greedy, be fearful. So, we're not necessarily following that advice for DWAC, I will admit. Not necessarily for DWAC, but for other stocks like this, if you really believe in them and the company seems to be doing good things, then that can be a potential way to think about it. So, yeah, we do need to break $2 on it. We're getting close. We were hitting 2 for a little bit. And what's your opinion on APRE? And Wayne says PROG. We'll look at both of those in just a second. We'll start with APRE. Apria Therapeutics. I have heard of this company. I'm not sure what they do. Likely just some biotech thing. Okay, so they had a data presentation at ESMO. Let's see if we can't pull up their company profile. Okay, looks like they don't have a company breakdown that describes what they do, but we can pull them up on Yahoo Finance, see the market cap of only 100 million. So yeah, those are the kinds of companies that I do like a lot, when very low market cap companies do have the potential to grow a lot, right? And it's tough to pick the winning one. Oh, and you can see it shot down massively, potentially on a direct offering, potentially on some horrific news. That's very strange. Very strange. Maybe it was something, maybe it was some kind of merger. Who knows? Yeah, I wonder what happened back there. But what I think, it has been trading kind of just in the $3 to $6-ish, $5 range for a while. So yeah, I'm not too sure about this. This is my first time really even looking into it that much, APRE. So I'm not too sure what exactly they do. But let's see their profile on finance. Yeah, they're biotech. They've only got 11 full-time employees. But, in today's age, with all the leverage that you can get from technology, 11 is really all you need. I mean, maybe you could have a couple more. But, yeah, it's kind of crazy, when you look at some of these stocks and you see the valuation. Sometimes you see a valuation of a couple $1 billion, and then you look at the company's profile and they only have like 12 employees. If those 12 employees got sick or quit or whatever, then the company's worthless almost. I mean, maybe they have some intellectual property, but it's kind of scary stuff when you look at how few employees there are. And if there was just one big disaster, one big accident, they're all hanging out at a bar after work or something, and something goes wrong, that the whole company could be almost worthless if something happened to those 11 employees, because they probably know the processes that run the company. It'd be very tough to replace them. So Wayne Strogbetter says, let's look at PROG. And yeah, PROG, we've got right here. It is doing very well, actually, bouncing off of 350 very nicely. We're up 10% on the day. this is really bullish, right? Especially after seeing a massive rise in after hours. We can pull up the prog news that we have in case anyone is new to the stream. We'll pull that up. But basically, they pumped up a ton on this news that they reduced their outstanding debt by $20 million through a private exchange of convertible senior notes. So really great stuff with PROG. I'm very happy to see that. And they've been doing very well ever since, right? They're up still, despite this big sell-off. A lot of people did end up taking profits, likely institutions. I don't know who is up at, 6 in the morning trading hours and hours before the actual typical pre-market starts at 9. But, some people were clearly taking profits. But we are doing fairly well, even during the trading day, despite having sold off a little bit, right? We did start selling off around market open and trended down until we found support at 350, and now we've been moving up. I will pull up the PROG options before looking at these other comments and moving on to the next stocks that people are asking about. But you can see that there are, with PROG, let's pull that up, very many open interest call options, almost 26,000 at the $3.50 strike price. So we really want to see those remain in the money, right? We don't want to see ourselves drop below 350. Ideally, we would be keeping those call options in the money until the actual expiration date on them, which is November 19th, which would likely cause a lot of institutions to have to start buying up PROG stock, pushing it up because they've likely sold those call options naked. It could cause some kind of gamma squeeze situation. And, you see a bunch of other call options that have recently become in the money as well, right? Because PROG has been doing very well over the past couple of days. We got 45,000 at $3, 19,000 at 250. Most likely the in-the-money ones, though, that were sold a while ago. Maybe the 250 ones were out of the money, but you can see that this thing was above $2. So likely the $2 ones, which there just aren't that many of, 13,000 and then 7,000 below that. Those were likely sold covered just because they were already in the money and it wasn't guaranteed that this thing would drop. There is still plenty of time, though, in between now and November 19th. There's still 25-ish days almost, 24, 25 days. So we're going to have to see what happens with it. Institutions are likely to try and push this thing down because they don't want it to expire with those options contracts in the money. They'd rather collect the profit on those without paying any shares to people who own the contract. So DWAC is rebounding above $70. That's awesome to see. Let's see. Thoughts on OZSC. Let's pull that down in the bottom left. And then we'll get to AQST, BKT, and BBIG. We'll cover those in order. Okay, so OZOP Energy Solutions, energy company, potentially involved in oil and gas. Let's see. OZSC. Pull that up off screen for a second. Industrial equipment and parts. Okay, so maybe they provide parts to energy companies. Let's see what we've got. Company outlook. Okay, so their market cap is only 200 million. So yeah, still very low market cap. I'm always a big fan of these low market cap companies because even if they don't look too promising fundamentally, right? So, and who's to say? I haven't looked into OZSC yet. I can't say if it looks promising fundamentally, but they definitely have the potential to pump. And we saw that in the past. Just a year ago, this thing pumped up huge from 0.005 cents all the way to 50 cents. So really big pump. Now we're at 4 cents, which I have to admit does seem very cheap. 4 cents, if you look at the day, it's just tough to kind of gauge, when a stock is like $1, it's very easy to see, okay, it's $1.01 now. When a stock is 4 cents, you can say, okay, it's 4.05 cents or 4.1 cents. It's kind of tough to gauge what the real value is, what it's really gained. So I'm not sure what this stock does. Michael Shocker says, good morning, Rob. You trade pink/OTC at all? No, I do not. I could on TD Ameritrade. I believe I could, but I don't. And we've got a lot of stocks to look at. So OZSC, yeah, I'm not, obviously, it is an OTC, so I'm not interested in buying it myself, but I think there are plenty of stocks that you can buy on Robinhood that are cheap penny stocks like this. This is, $200 million market cap. We were just looking at another one that was $100 million market cap. So, if you know something about this stock that I don't and it looks promising to you, then feel free to get in on it. However, it looks like it has just been decaying for the past couple of months. So unless there's some kind of catalyst I wouldn't be too interested in it, at least without doing some more research, figuring out what they're all about. But this is my first time hearing about that. So thank you later, says Escape to Guyana. I'll look into it. I'll look into it off camera. I'll look into it. Typically, if I'm researching a stock, I'm reading articles, and it gets kind of quiet. So that would be a bit boring for a stream. But now we've got to look at AQST. We already looked at AQST, but we'll look at it again for people who are new. Yeah, it's doing decently today, up 7%. We have just been trending up pretty much in a straight line ever since the initial sell-off that we saw in early morning. But AQST, yeah, a lot of people have been commenting on this. Oh, and PROG is popping. PROG's popping, getting close to 4. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, a lot of people, potentially a lot of bots, have been commenting on my videos about AQST. So he has risen. Yeah, AQST, it is promising because I have seen a lot of bots, and that typically indicates that someone's trying to pump something. So there is the potential for it. However, when you actually look at the short data, I have looked at this, it's not all that promising. I'll pull it up right here on Ortex. AQST, shoot, AQST, there we go. So yeah, it's not the most promising. People have been talking about an AQST short squeeze, and I'm really not sure what they're talking about because the short interest is only 4.21%. It's actually decreased a little bit today. The utilization isn't that high. It's 59. It's decently high, but not that high. The days to cover looks like the most promising part of it. However, it's only 1.54 million shares, and I understand that typically, the volume on this thing, if you look at the yearly chart, is much lower. It's a couple 100,000. So yeah, we could see, if for some reason all the shorts had to cover, it could be a decent boost in the price. I'll admit that. But we haven't, it's not unheard of to see days when a couple million shares trade and the price actually hasn't moved all that much. Like on this day, we had almost 4 million shares trade. So the 1.5 million shorted shares really seem like they could get covered fairly easily if they needed to be. So BKKT, we'll look at that next. BKKT, that's the next one on the list. Okay, so it looks like we're down 14% of the day. We have been watching this a little bit. I believe, is this the one that it might be tied to OCGN? It might be. Might be. Maybe not. Maybe I'm forgetting. There are a lot of stocks that we've looked at today. Let's see. There. Yeah, I'm not sure. No, I don't think this is tied to OCGN and the COVID vaccine. I think they would be up more if they were. So, yeah, we are seeing a little bit of a dump. This might be the end of it, right? We see a kind of a double top at 55, and we have just been trending down. However, we are consolidating a little bit at 25, where we saw some resistance yesterday. So this could be holding us. We'll have to keep an eye on it. This is my first time looking at it too closely, right? I think we looked at it a little bit at market open, but we have kind of just been trending down since until we found a little bit of support around 25. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. I will return to this at the end of the day if I can remember to. But BBIG, and that's from Pemba. I'm sorry, Pemba, we took a while to get there, but a lot of people are curious about stocks. So yeah, BBIG, there is actually an interesting strategy that you can use with BBIG. We have been, we saw a little bit of a drop in early morning and pre-market. But we have consolidated a bit at 520. So what someone was saying they were doing with BBIG, if you look at the options, is you have the opportunity to sell some call options for fairly high strike prices, right? BBIG is at 523. And say you wanted to hold BBIG for a while, but you were willing to sell it if you made a decent profit on it, right? You could buy BBIG at 522 and then sell 550 call option for November 12th. That's in just about 15, 16 days from now. You could sell that call option for 50 cents. So instantly, you have 50 cent protection to the downside. So unless this thing drops to 470, you're still making money on this stock, even if it drops down to 470 over the next 16 days or so. And obviously, there's the potential that it could drop a lot more. But you do have some downside protection. And then if this thing stays where it is, you get that 50 cent premium. If it goes up to 550 or above, then sure, you sell it for 550, but you've also collected the premium. So it's really like you're selling it for $6. So that's a way, to get in on BBIG if that's what you're interested in, and protect your downside a little bit over the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks, really, and maybe not be losing as much money as you could if it moves down, maybe not make as much money as you could if it moves up, but to make some money almost certainly. That's how it seems to me, at least, right? That's an opportunity I may get in on later today, right, off stream. So I've held OZSC for years, Law. Yeah, that's. I mean, hopefully it's been good. I didn't look at the long-term chart, just the year chart, but it looks like it has moved up a bit. So how about ATER? Says Monica Perez. Yeah, let's look at ATER. We used to cover that one a lot more. That was a very promising one at one point. However, since we've broken through 8, it hasn't been great. We have just been trending down. But I remember way back when we were calling this thing out, when it was like at 15 or 16 bucks, and calling out $20 as a likely harsh resistance for us. And the reason we knew was because if you looked at the past year, you could see that $20 had both acted as a support level for us and a resistance, and we actually had a gap down through 20. So it was likely going to be a key point when either institutions or shorts or just traders knew we'd likely bounce off of 20, and you can see that that's just what we did. We got almost a little double top right there, 1993, then 1987, very close to $20. We got bounced off of it twice before subsiding. The first time we couldn't quite get back up to our previous highs and have since been sinking and sinking. I'll pull up the Ortex data for ATER because it is an interesting one, but potentially, the squeeze might be unlikely on it because we have actually dipped down quite a bit. Shorts are most likely in the money at this point, right? They're making money on this stock, which means they don't have much of an incentive to cover their short positions, at least not in a panicked way. But you can see 27% short interest as a percentage of the free float, highly utilized. However, shorts have been covering a bit over the past couple of weeks, right? They've just been slowly exiting their short positions, likely for a profit, some of them at least. We're up a little bit today, so some shorts are coming in on ATER, but I know that's one that a lot of people on the channel are interested in. I think SDC is the best for a short run-up, says Giova. Yeah, see, I've looked at SDC. I've looked at SDC and I haven't seen a massive run-up yet, right? I've been waiting to see, what can this stock do? But we saw the massive downtrend that we were in. And then people started talking about the potential for a short squeeze around here. And we did see, we got off from 463 of our lows, right? All the way to 742, but that's not that big of a short squeeze, really. We didn't even double. So I'm kind of still waiting to see what happens with SDC. People are calling it the son of all short squeezes. I'm just curious when it's really going to squeeze. I haven't seen it yet. And Aiden says, "What's wrong with this market? So much short selling at the beginning of the market." Yeah, we have seen some short selling, and also just some dumping. Right, a lot of people were likely taking profit on DWAC, which is good, right? Because you don't want people necessarily who are holding the stock for a really long time, right? You want people to start averaging in around here and actually be building up their position at these levels, so that they have a reason to hope that it doesn't drop too much, right? Like, I'm not too worried when DWAC drops because I bought in at 24. I have 150 shares, and despite being down $2,000 on the day, I'm still up almost 7K since buying in. So I'm not too worried about DWAC dropping, and I'm not too incentivized to panic buy at any point to maintain the level that it's at, because this thing could drop by another 50% and I'd still be making money on it. So I'm not too worried about DWAC dropping. However, if someone's just buying in right around 70 bucks right here, they have a vested interest in keeping this stock up. So they might be willing to buy more at 70 again and enter into and average their position down to 70, just add more to it right there. So MYSZ says Big Milkshake Trading. And MYSZ is ripping. Yeah, we were looking at that earlier. My size. Yeah, it's I think the partnership, I think they had some kind of partnership with Levi Jeans or something, whichever company is responsible for that. I don't know if we still have it pulled up. No, I think we got rid of that news. But it was interesting. Yeah, we were covering MYSC a little bit earlier. We'll look at it again. Just for anyone who's new to the stream. We'll pull that up. So let's see. Where is that? We had a good article on it at one point. I'll go back to Yahoo Finance. I think that's where it was. But yeah, my size. They have been doing very well. Pretty much any time you've bought it, it's green. So let's pull this up. Let's pull up this article. Okay, yeah. So they were awarded a contract. That's what it was. They were awarded a contract from Dockers, an American brand of garments and other accessories from Levi. So yeah, so that's good. That's what's pumping them up. And then Zach Morris, I believe, also tweeted about MYSZ. Further pumping it, right? 35 minutes ago, we can click on this tweet, was at 10:34. So if we look at 10:34, we can see that was right here when Zach Morris tweeted this big green bar, which I think halted us, right? We got halted on that bar because so much volume came in from Zach Morris. So he really does have a big influence on these smaller market caps. So he's a force to be reckoned with. You watch out for him. He does love pumping, he says. If you look over here, he loves pumping. So, he loves pumping. Yeah, so he's a well-known Twitter trader. All right, Tesla short selling begins, says Aiden. Let's take a look at Tesla. We were watching it earlier. Oh, geez, yeah, we haven't watched this thing since it was at 10:50. And now it's back at 10:50, actually. Fancy that. So yeah, Tesla, I'm still holding my Tesla. We're up 2.84% on the day. Very impressive, almost at $1,100 all-time highs. But, you can't really expect this thing to keep pumping that much because it just became a $1 trillion market cap company. I'll pull that up for you guys. Very impressive for Tesla entering the $1 trillion market club. $1.055 trillion market cap on Tesla. That's really cool. Everyone who's been holding Tesla is basically in the green, right? There's no point at which you could have bought it when you aren't in the green, unless you bought it in just the past hour or so. So yeah, Tesla's doing really well. And Jordan Israel Peterson says, bro, came to give you a like. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're at 88 likes. Let's see if we can burst that up to 90. We've got 87 viewers. So potentially some of you guys are new to the stream and haven't liked it yet. Let's see if we can burst the likes up to 90. We're at 89 right now, so we don't have that much further to go. But we do like to get some likes on the video just to get this out to more people. Okay, and also to give you a heavily shorted gem, says Jordan Israel Peterson, SPIR. Let's take a look at that. We'll take a look. We'll replace Tesla. It looks like Tesla is experiencing some extreme volatility right now, right? They just got shot down off 1100, and we're going to have to see what happens. But let's take a look at SPIR. And Vivi Rutk says, I love Tesla. Me too. I love Tesla. I love Elon Musk. All right, so SPIR, yeah, up 10% on the day. This is promising. Ooh, it looks like we saw a lot of negative action way back when we were up at $20, and then had a huge gap down potentially on a stock offering. Who knows? Let's see, SPIR. We'll look at it on Ortex. You say it's heavily shorted. Let's take a look. Spire Global. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we've got a 10% short interest, so not the highest short interest, but decent. One day to cover, 1.19 days to cover, 8.1 million shares. So let's look at this thing on the day, 1 year, 1 day. Yeah, so that is actually a fairly high, especially considering what we've seen lately, a fairly high amount of shares to be short, right? If this thing did start pumping up a bunch, then some shorts may have to start covering. And yeah, I could see this one. This could pop off a little bit. 79% utilization rate, so that's getting pretty high. Shorts don't have that much more ammo to throw at us. We have been increasing the short interest ever since this thing dumped, really. Quite a bit. I guess people expect it to continue tanking. I wonder what the news was that dumped it. How do you feel about MVIS? And PHUN got murdered today, says Judson Lim. Yeah, PHUN did get murdered. But let's take a look at MVIS. And Vivi Reddick says, thank you for your channel. You're welcome, man. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. It's nice. And thank you guys for commenting, too. You know, you guys are pointing stocks out to me that I would not have heard of otherwise. And it is very helpful. It's nice that we have a little community here. I'm definitely, I enjoy these streams a lot. So they're pretty fun, to be honest. I do enjoy sitting here from 9 to 12, which I'll probably be doing most days, most days that the market's open. That's my plan. So, Microvision Inc. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of this one. I forget exactly what it was that they did. There's a lot of stocks, but this one, Meet Kevin, I believe, talks about a lot. Another massive YouTuber. VIS. American company that develops laser scanning technology for projection, 3D sensing. Oh, this might be. No, that's Matterport that I'm thinking of. But yeah, this is cool. This looks promising. This seems like the kind of thing Kathy would like to buy into. She likely does buy into this stock. So let me pull up the market cap on it. On MVIS. Let's see what we've got market cap wise. 1.5 billion. 1.498 billion. So very high. Not very high. Actually fairly low, right? This is half of what DWAC is at. But this seems like it's a more fundamentally based company at the moment, though we have been tanking over the past 30 days. Over the past year, we've done very well, actually. Up from 152, reached 28. Now we're down below 10 again. So maybe we can see another run on this. We'll have to keep an eye out. Maybe earnings, that is coming up. It looks like in just a couple of days, the 28th. So this Thursday it should be. Yeah, maybe we'll see some good news on the earnings call. That would be interesting, right? We do typically see a lot of volatility at the earnings call. The last one bumped us up from 12 to 16. So potentially this could be a good one to just buy and hold for a couple of days. Potentially. I'll look more into this. I'll look more into that at some point. Notorious 0801. Is DWAC a long-term investment? I thought so. What your opinion? So yeah, it definitely has the potential to be, right. With this Trump's back, it is going to be merging with Trump Media. And a lot of social media platforms do end up having very large market caps, making a ton of money. So definitely you could make this a long-term investment if you wish. However, over the short term, it has pumped up very high, right? And it does have the potential to pump up quite a bit more. However, it'll be a while before we really start seeing revenue coming in from the company when it does merge with Trump Media Corporation. It'll be a while before the actual social media platform is out, and there's likely to be some pitfalls during the meantime, right? I do expect that we'll probably see, after another pump up, I hope that we'll see another big pump up. It's likely that we'll see a bit of a waning in stock price, maybe return to these levels, right? Maybe return to lower than these levels. Who knows what we might see. But over the next while we're just waiting for the Trump Media Company to actually have some fundamental news, and by the next while, I mean over the next year or so, maybe 2 years, this one, it could be not doing as well as some of the other companies that do have stuff to put forward, right? So it's definitely a good long-term play, meaning over the next 10 years, maybe you want to add it to a long-term portfolio. This is a very high price to pay, though, just around the time when the news is coming out. And I will say I am a holder of DWAC. I'm still holding my shares. I bought 200 shares at 24.18. So I'm up 6.5K since open, down about 2,500 on the day. I sold 50 of my shares at 30 something bucks. So, wish I'd held on to those, but I will be holding this for a while. I do think, though, that if we do see another massive pump up, that could be a good selling point for the short term, at least, short to midterm. So yeah, Notorious. I think it is a long-term play for some people, but for some. So Megan Lennox 86 says, what are the expectations on DWAC and PHUN? I'm holding a huge bag, need a game plan. Yeah, no, I'm expecting these things will likely rise. PHUN, it's a tough one. It isn't as well tied to the Trump social media platform as DWAC, and we've seen day after day it has been a little bit more bearish than DWAC. So down 33% on PHUN. We're only down 20% on DWAC. Obviously neither of those is great, but I can't tell you what to do with it, right? I'm just telling you that I'm still holding. However, I'm in a different position. I bought in at 24. I'm still up on a lot of money, not down. So, potentially my risk tolerance is different. I likely wouldn't be looking to get out of these until maybe around $40. If DWAC did continue to tank down that much. I'm not in PHUN because it isn't as heavily tied to Trump as DWAC. So that's my opinion on it. But for you, you're gonna have to decide, well, where did I buy, when, how much of a loss am I willing to take? But in my opinion, I think that we still have some more to run on DWAC at least. PHUN, I think will likely, if DWAC does move up, it could move up in sympathy with DWAC. But we'd have to watch. I don't think it would move up as much. I don't think it would be as good of a long-term hold as DWAC. That's just my opinion. I'm not telling you what to do with it. This isn't financial advice or anything. And obviously, there's the potential that these things could just continue to tank and move down. And, people would lose money in that situation, as I would lose money in that situation. At least money that I've got right now. I wouldn't lose overall. I would still likely be up on money by the time that I've sold, but I would have lost potential profits. So, Vivi Riddick says that he thinks it's a good investment. We're tired of Facebook's actions. Yeah, Facebook hasn't been great censorship-wise. And then Notorious said, heard about Phase stock could possibly blow when it comes public. FAZE. I guess when it goes public, I guess that kind of implies that it's not tradable yet. So, it could. I have heard of Phase. I have heard of it. And Monica Braz, good job, Rob. Thanks for answering my inquiry. Sure thing. And then Jordan Israel Peterson responded to Megan Lennox. What about PHUN, says Sachi Benshosh. What about PHUN? Yeah, well, I kind of just talked about that. I don't think that it will be doing as well as DWAC, unfortunately. A lot of people did end up buying into it, but it's just not as heavily tied if you look over the past 10 days. You can see that it has declined a bit more. It obviously pumped up a bit more. It had a larger gain overall percentage-wise. If you look, it was down around $1, and then it got up to 24. DWAC was around 10, and it got up to 175, so about a 17x on DWAC at the heights, and about a 24x on PHUN. So it had higher highs, but it's also looking to have slightly lower lows, right? We're down 30% on the day on it, and down about 20% on DWAC. So it's looking like we might not be doing as well for PHUN going forward. But, I think there was initially a lot of hype. It was a very low market cap, very easily pushed up. DWAC is a slightly larger market cap, but a slightly more well-known name. So a lot more people might be interested in that one. And I've noticed, guys, that we have 96 likes. Let's see if we can bump that up to 100. That would be much appreciated. We've got a lot of viewers in the stream right now. We've got almost 100 viewers. So let's see if we can pump that up just a little bit. Now, Jordan Ursula Peterson, I'm just trying to get others' opinions. Been doing lots of DD. Yeah, good job, Megan. Yep, and I'm happy to provide my opinions, but just know none of it's financial advice. I'm not telling anyone what to buy or what to sell. But I will tell you guys what I'm doing. I'll try and be transparent about that. I'll tell you guys that I'm holding DWAC and that I'm not holding PHUN. PROG looks like we did have a little bit of a pullback. It looks like we got very close to 4 and have since been pulling back a little bit. We're hopefully going to continue, make this a new low for the day, right? Hopefully we'll be not going any lower than this, right? We won't be getting to 350 again. We'll hopefully start tracing back up. Hopefully breaking 4, right? That's what we really want to see. We want to see those $4 call options get in the money. I'll pull that up for a second. We would love to see these additional 14,000 open interest call options at $4 strike price get in the money. That would be really nice. That would only help serve the gamma squeeze as it comes, and potentially start off a little short squeeze. If we can get some shorts covering, if we can get some shorts worried, if we hold above 4, some shorts might start covering a little bit. So we'll have to see with that. We'll have to watch it closely. But there is a lot of promise with PROG at the moment. It's looking good. Yep, so we did get to 100 likes. Awesome, guys. That's great to see. Got to 100 likes. Nice. We'll hopefully be getting the stream out to more people, and it looks like we only have about 30 minutes left of the stream. At 12, I'll have to head out, grab some lunch. But for the moment, I will be right back. I do need to use the bathroom for just a second. I'll be right back. Stay tuned, though. Okay, guys, we're back. And I actually wanted to make a little poll about DWAC and these stocks. I was curious which you guys thought would be the most bullish. So let me insert this poll right here. Which will have the highest close? No, which will have the highest close? Which, let's see, how should we word this? Which are you most bullish on? There we go. DWAC is number 1. We got PROG. We'll add PROG. We'll add BBIG as well. All right, there we go. Okay, so it looks like Vivi Riddick is heading out. Have a nice day, man. And RWK says not AMC, lol. Yeah, I'm not the most bullish on AMC. That's not to say I'm bearish. I think that it has the potential to stay where it's at. I think that it has a lot of staying power, right? Because it has kind of identified itself. I'll pull up the AMC chart just to show you guys what I'm talking about. Because it has identified that it has a lot of staying power, since it has been, there have been downtrends, there have been uptrends. But people have shown that they're willing to buy up the dips, at least for now. We're going to have to see if that lasts, but it's kind of like how a cryptocurrency maintains its value a little bit. And it's not the worst, right? If AMC stock can maintain a bit of an elevated price, right? Then potentially AMC, the company, could be doing some stock offerings, raising some capital. That wouldn't be the best for the stock price, but that would be good for the underlying business, which could in turn, end up returning some value to the investors. Even if, does it have PROG twice? It does have PROG twice. Shoot. That's, geez, man, I meant to say PHUN. All right, hold on, guys. Let me end this. Let me restart that poll. That's ridiculous. Too embarrassing. Is the poll not available? I think we have to wait until the poll reveals itself before I can start the next poll, but sorry about that, guys. Here we go. We're creating the real poll now. Jeez. I'm tired, man. Thanks for pointing that out, though, RWK. Appreciate that. Before we got too far into things. All right, so I'll make sure to type PHUN this time. And what was the last one? Do we have BBIG? Yeah, I'll leave BBIG in there. I'll add AMC. I'm curious, who are the AMC bulls in here? I'll ask the community. We'll see. We do all make mistakes. That's true. All right, so this new poll should be showing up in just a second, hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Because I'm curious what you guys think. So I'll actually pull up PHUN here. We'll see. So we can have all 4 of the ones in the poll on the screen right now. So there we go. Looks like the poll is live. It's a tie. It's a tie right now between DWAC, PROG, and AMC. Not many people think PHUN. Yeah, I tend to not think PHUN either. It has dropped the most of the 3 during the day. It's dropped a lot regarding which Trump stocks there are, but we got 16 votes. A lot of people. Oh, it looks like AMC is actually in the lead, tied with PROG. I'm surprised to see it. I'm surprised to see it, but I would have thought a lot of DWAC bears or bulls would be in here. PROG as well. PROG is actually up the most on the day. Which one am I most bullish on though? I would have to say I'm personally the most bullish on DWAC, but I can understand any of these, right? I can understand any of them. Maybe not PHUN as much. It could pump up a bit. It has actually dipped quite a bit, so there's potentially a rebound coming for it, and it is a very low market cap, so I can really see anyone's perspective on this. Wow, it looks like this it's neck and neck between all of these things. They're all around 23 or 27%. So it's very tight on this. AMC is actually in the lead. I guess there are a lot of AMC bulls in here, but wow, I'm surprised to see it. I guess maybe yesterday a lot more people were in DWAC. just because it was pumping up so much. A lot more people were probably bullish on it, and now seeing the dip. Some people have lost faith, and that's understandable. That is understandable. However, I am still bullish on DWAC. I think that's the one that I'm the most bullish on at the moment. That's the one that I personally have the most money in. And I actually don't think that I'm in any of the others. I think I've been trading PROG a bit. I've been day trading it. And AMC, I held one share at one point, but Big Milkshake Trading says, do you like LIDR? I'll pull that up right here. Up 49% on the day. Oof. I don't like when I see these massive sell-offs. That's usually from horrific news that change the outlook of the entire company. But I'll pull up LIDR. Try to figure out what they're all about. Autonomous vehicle upside, it seems like. I see what this is all about. So they're all about AI driving cars. LIDR. Let's pull that up on Yahoo Finance, see the market cap. So it's about $1 billion market cap, not the smallest company. Likely, if I had to guess, they either had some kind of stock offering that set this whole thing in motion, or, potentially they actually went public from being a SPAC, maybe. It looks like they were trading at 10 for a very long time. Or they may have had some big setback regarding their AI. Or maybe, they were just touted a little bit too much. So Marco Alexander says, why do you not like AMC? I don't dislike AMC. I don't dislike it. I like the movement. I like what it stands for. I wish I'd gotten in earlier. Back around here when it was $2 or back around here when it was 12. However, at this point, I will pull up the Ortex data on AMC. I don't dislike it though. I want to be clear about that. I don't dislike AMC. I'm just not the most bullish on it. I know a lot of people have a lot of faith in it. This Ortex data is taking a minute to load. Unfortunately, let's close some of these tabs. We have a bunch of tabs going, likely slowing this thing down. But let me actually just open up a new tab of Ortex. I'm not bearish on AMC. My point is that it seems like it's kind of lost a lot of the momentum, and it seems to me like if it was going to squeeze, it would likely have squeezed by now. However, geez, Ortex is going really slow today. I really can't pull up this Ortex data, can I? AMC, there we go. Okay, here we go. So the short interest. Yeah, so will this pull up or what? This is crazy. The internet's going really slow. I hope the stream is doing all right. Any second I'll have this AMC data up. It's just taking a really long time to load on Ortex for some reason. Ortex must be getting overwhelmed. People must be viewing it a lot. But my point about AMC, right? If you look at the short interest, is it's only 16%, and it would only take 1.5 days worth of the volume for shorts to cover if they wanted to cover. So it just doesn't seem like there's the highest potential for a big short squeeze in it, right? There could potentially be a big rise in price, but it's already just such a heavily traded stock. I think that there's a lot of liquidity in it, and shorts could exit fairly easily if they needed to. But also, I'm not saying it's a bad one to trade. I think that it can oftentimes bounce off of these maybe supports, right? Like if I saw it go down to 30, that might be a good swing because I'd likely want to bounce it, off of 30 up to 40 or something like that. You can definitely trade it. I just don't know if there's massive upside like a lot of people think. There might be. I might be wrong about it. I'm not saying it can't go up. I'm not trying to bash AMC by any means. Obviously, if you look at the poll, 31% of respondents think AMC is the most bullish stock. So 33% now. So, a lot of people are bullish on AMC. And I'm not saying I don't like AMC. I just personally don't hold it just because it looks like there are more promising plays out there, in my opinion. Obviously, if I'd gotten in at a very cheap price, I would likely want to keep holding the stock if I believed in it, if I had a conviction in it, because I wouldn't want to then pay taxes on the gains that I would have made from buying in. So let's see. Chuck Jaitano says, I'm an ape AMC strong. Yeah, that's a good thing. I definitely believe in, sticking it. Obviously, there are probably some institutions who are shorting this that are still short the stock and are still just holding those short positions. So definitely stick it to them. I think it makes sense. I just tend to if I'm making a statement, I would rather make the statement, either publicly, like here on the stream or on a YouTube video, than, with my money investing in something. But a lot of people do like to put their money where their mouth is, right? Got some AMC, says Megan Lennox. Been holding for almost a year. It's gotten boring. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried about, right? The fact that a lot of people have just been holding this thing. It has been decreasing in volume. We'll have to see. I mean, maybe there's another catalyst. I'm just not sure what the catalyst could be that could pump it up. But I mean, AMC, yeah, no, it's a decent hold. A lot of people like it. Chuck Chaitano, can I add SHMP to the list? Yeah, no, I think you might be the only vote for that one, Chuck. That shrimp company. That's interesting. RWK, LIDR is a technology that even railroads use for PTC, positive train control, but it seems old, and there seems to be better tech out there. LIDR, yeah, I think we were looking at that for a bit. I'll replace AMC with it for a second. So yeah, this is the company that was doing AI, self-driving, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that makes sense why it's been dumping. But as for why it's rising, I forget what was the news on that. Okay, so Roth Capital starts AYE coverage with a $15 price target and a buy rating. So yeah, no, I think that likely it's getting pumped up on some news that it's now being covered and has a high price target. So yeah, let's keep scrolling through these comments. It seems if you see stock up 100%, do not buy into the hype. It's too late. Not necessarily true, right? Because I actually did buy into DWAC when it was up about 100%. I bought in at $24, $24.18. Right now, I'm up $6,000. I'm down $2,000 on the day, but up $6,000 overall. So it was still a good buy, even though it was up over 100% from where it closed yesterday at $10. And I think that there's still the opportunity to make some money with DWAC. And Jordan Isler Peterson, thank God I have a 609 average cost. AMC, I don't even think about it. I just look at it until I get a notification. Such relief and feeling. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, that is good. I if I were in AMC initially before the big pump, I'd likely still be holding my shares as well. What's up, Rob? Sold my DWAC, only had 2 shares. Well, not looking to get back in around the gap fill, says Don. Yep. That's not the worst decision, right? Potentially we are going to be seeing some more negative pressure today. I'd be wary though. If we do end up holding above 70, that could be an indication that the bear trend is over. So, yeah, good to hear though that. Well, it sounds like you might have lost a little bit of money on this if you just sold your DWAC, but maybe you were profitable on it. I'm not sure. But good luck on getting back into it, Don. I hope you find a nice price to re-enter at. Snowdrift 40 lowered your ears. Nice cut. Thank you, man. I assume you saw an older stream. I had this cut done this weekend, so you likely saw me on. It must have been Friday then. That was my first stream after all. So 1 year means less tax, so that's good. Says RWK. Yeah, I think holding AMC for a year makes sense because then you get the capital gains tax rate. And I don't think it's too likely that we fall that much more, especially depending on how much your income is. You might be paying quite a bit of income tax on AMC if you did sell it before a year. So, yeah, Wish is more bullish than AMC on the memes, says D-Roan. Very possible. Very possible. Let's see what Wish is doing. I haven't looked at Wish today yet. Down 2%. Yeah, not looking great. Obviously, Wish doesn't have as big of a following as AMC. But Chris Kagemi says, will Prog hit $5 today? Bought at $3.80. Was that smart? Thank you. Obviously, it was smart. I mean, $3.80. Oh, sorry. I thought it was $2.80 we're talking about. Not the best buy considering where we've been today. Obviously, you could have gotten at $3.50, which is where we had a bit of support. And but not the worst decision either, right? Because Prog is the most promising squeeze play that we're looking at right now. And this isn't individualized financial advice. I'm just talking about Prog and what I think about it. But if you look at Prog stock, you can see that it has a short interest as a percentage of the free float of 67%. so relatively high. Very high utilization rate, right? There's basically no shares short available to continue pushing this thing down. The days to cover on loan isn't the best. It has been seeing a lot of volume lately, so that's not the best. However, what's very promising about PROG stock is the fact that these call options for it, which we've talked a lot about, is that there are very many open interest call options, right? 25,000, 26,000 almost at 350, 14,000 at 4. So if we could get a burst above 4, just even more fuel will be added to this fire, and 45,000 at 3. And it's unlikely that institutions have started covering those yet, right? That they've started actually buying shares of PROG, which they will have to do at some point if they've been selling those shares naked, right? They would likely have to be buying up shares come November 19th as this thing continues to move up. So I think that PROG is looking good right now. Just make sure that you have price points in mind that you want to sell it or buy it or cut your losses at if you're interested in doing that and if you're not holding it for the long term. So MYSC is going crazy, says Burke Herring. Yeah, let's look at that. MYSZ. Or MYSC. I remember that one. My size. Yeah, it has been going very well today. We've just been trending up and up and up and up. Basically on this news that we had it pulled up at one point. I'll pull it up again. But basically they partnered with some other fashion brand to... they were awarded a contract. That's what it is. There we go. My size awarded contract from Dockers, which is tied to Levi, which you guys have likely heard of, Levi jeans. So, yeah, good news for MYSC. They are pumping up quite a bit on that news. And let's see, is PHUN basically dead, says Big Ragu? Yeah, it's not looking great for PHUN, PHUN, or PHUN, however you say it. It is down 33% on the day when DWAC is only down 18%. These two typically trade in sympathy with each other. However, PHUN has always been trading a little bit worse than DWAC. It's always been a little bit more bearish, other than the very first day that it started trading, right, when it actually hit 24x just about. So it was pretty impressive at that point. But since then, it has been a little bit more bearish, and that's most likely because it's not as directly tied to Trump Media Company as DWAC is. So, that's unfortunate, but it's not necessarily dead, right? If DWAC does come back in a big way, it's likely that PHUN would as well, PHUN. Not guaranteed, though, and not guaranteed that it will be as big of a gain as we see in DWAC if that does come back. Let's see. BKKT is a big bag to hold. Keeps diving. Yeah, let's pull that up for a second. BKKT. Backed holdings. Yeah, it's not been doing great. It has just been moving down 20% on the day. So not great to see, especially if you bought in late yesterday or in after hours or pre-market. We have just been moving down, so that's not ideal. And there's no real telling you. It's tough to pick the bottom with these things. You can't really say when it's going to stop moving down. You just have to say, when are you no longer comfortable holding it, right? What is your stop loss at? Nope says, hi Rob, I'm FOMO'd at DWAC. You think it's going to go back up? Well, I'll tell you what I think about DWAC. It seems like you might be new to the stream. Obviously, we are bursting above 70 right now. But I do still hold my DWAC shares. I have 150 shares bought in at 24.18. So I'm still up pretty big since the buy-in. But I am down about 2K on the day. I do think that DWAC will move back up. Let me show you why I think DWAC is likely to continue increasing over the next while, right? Obviously, we need some time to consolidate. If you look at this, we're likely just consolidating. Hopefully in this $70 to $100 range is where we'll consolidate. But let me pull up DWAC information. So right now we've got a $2.5 billion market cap. Now, if you look at the shares outstanding for DWAC, it's 36 million. I know everyone on the stream has seen me do this a billion times, but it looks like Nope might be new to the stream. So TWAC is currently at 36 million shares outstanding. And if you look at the election results for 2020, you can see there are 74 million people that voted for Trump. Now, let's just off the bat say 90% of them aren't interested in stocks or don't care about DWAC or just aren't going to hear about this. Let's say 90% of them don't care about DWAC stock, just for whatever reason. That's a fairly large percentage. I think that's even potentially more than would not care about DWAC, right? I think we might see more than that. But let's say 90% of them are gone. That still leaves 7 million people left who do care about DWAC stock. And they could only buy 5 shares each before taking up the entire float, right? Before all of DWAC is bought up. And I, myself, am holding 150 shares. And there are surely some institutions that are going to want to hold potentially a million shares each, right? So I do think that there's the potential for it to run up quite a bit. I am still bullish on DWAC, and I think that just because we saw a bit of a dip, I mean, this is just typical stock market, right? You know, pumps up, gets halted a bunch, moves back down, consolidates, and will either start trending down or start trending up. I think we'll start trending up, though. I think that there's a lot of buyers who are potentially going to enter the stock market for the first time to be part of Trump's company. I think they might think of it as a sure thing opportunity in their minds. A lot of people, I think, are going to get into this, especially once they see that it has consolidated at a very high level. I think that some people are probably waiting for their entrance, right? Some people might end up foaming in at higher prices. So I am still bullish on DWAC. I'm not telling anyone to hold it, right? This isn't personalized financial advice. I'm just telling you guys why I still hold it. And there's no guarantee that it's going to go up, but that's just what I think. So, loving the consolidation, says Tim Blackburn, on PROG above 350. Very nice. Yeah, that is really good to see, right? We did not want to drop below 350, and what would have been even worse is if we ended up re-entering this $2.80 to $3.20 range and getting stuck there. We really didn't want to see that because we had been trading in it for a while before we actually ended up moving up using 320 as support. And then on this good PROG news, we bounced up quite a bit. It would have been great to see an open around 646. That would have been amazing. But, you know, this is still relatively good, right? We're up 11% on the day. No one can complain about that. Pretty much everyone buying in prior to this point, right, prior to today's pre-market, is up money. So nothing to complain about with PROG. We're seeing great stuff. We saw these lower and bottoms, which I guess we can get rid of. But, yeah, PROG has been doing very well on the day. Now it looks like we're rising. So that's good to see. All right, so loving the consolidation. Yep. BKKT was at $50 after hours. What happened? Yeah, so I think that people were just likely taking profits on it. You know, you see this kind of thing a lot. After hours and pre-market tend to have lower volume as well. You can see on the volume chart, I'll pull this up, it's in the bottom left, but you can see the volume during after hours decreases quite a bit, and then pre-market it's very low as well. And there are likely just a lot of people who wanted to take profits on BKKT. So, you know, you have to think about people who were buying way back here at $7, and then even at $24, that's still a massive gain. So they'd obviously be willing to sell their shares there. They're very willing to sell it at $50 and even 60, which are the highs. So that's most likely why we're seeing lower prices on BKKT. Just people taking profits. I don't think any horrific news came out for them. Nope says thanks, Rob. Thank you, Rob, for the info. And Jerry Lynn Jones says, great analysis and insight. I'm glad I found your channel. Yeah, I'm glad you found it too. I'm glad, you know, anyone who I can help out with this kind of stuff, you know, not with personalized financial advice, of course, but just, you know, help teach people a little bit of what I've learned about the market, because I have been trading for, how old am I now? I'm 22, so about 4 years now. So I know a little bit. Obviously, there's always more to learn, and, you know, the markets are always changing. So it's actually very helpful for me as well, seeing you guys here, because oftentimes you guys will in the comments bring up stocks that I haven't heard of either. Like I would not be looking at BKKT right now without you guys or a bunch of these stocks. So thank you guys as well. I appreciate that. And it actually looks like we have 122 likes on the stream. Let's see if we can bump that up to 130. We only need 8 more likes. We have 114 viewers. I'm sure that out of the 100 viewers, 8 people haven't liked it yet and can throw a like in. Hopefully they get the stream out to a couple more people, get some more people rolling in the comments. Jim Haney says, thanks for the stream. Have to go and pull off some more scalp trades. Nice, man. All right, well, I'll catch you later, Jim. RWK, glad I came across your channel. Also good info, says RWK. Yep, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And Snow, and then Upside Down something says, Rob, are you invested in crypto? I'm heavy in Ethereum and price prediction end of year is 8 to 10K, easy money to make. I am invested in crypto. The ones I'll pull up Coinbase market cap right here. So the ones that I hold like $70 worth of Shiba Inu. I ended up I put a couple $100, I think like $200 into it way before it pumped up big. So I think around here maybe, and I just saw it move up massively in price. Ended up like tripling my money in it. So then I sold out most of that because it seemed like it may have run its course. It's obviously still gone up. But I also hold some Dogecoin, right? Made some money on that. Really big money, right? Held it, bought in around here. Bought in around, I think, November, actually. So almost coming on a year from when I initially bought. Bought in around November of last year. And it spiked up massively. Sold a bunch at 40 cents. Started averaging out of the rest of my position at 70 and just averaged out most of it. Now I'm still holding about 3K worth. So Doge was very good. And what else do I hold? I hold some Ethereum as well. Not much. I bought maybe like $500 worth around the same time that I bought Doge, I think, or after that. I think maybe it was like close to 1,800, maybe 1,100. I forget exactly. I don't track it too often, but I have made some decent money on that, right? Obviously, it's near all-time highs, so pretty much everyone's made money on that. And Bitcoin as well. I put, I think, $500 into Bitcoin as well. It's also done very, very well. I think I saw this thing running up when it was at like 13 or 14, 15K, and ended up buying into it because I realized that, hey, we were breaking $10,000 resistance, and we have seen massive runs on cryptos before, so I just threw in a little bit, and ended up becoming worth much more. So yeah, I hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and a very little bit of Shiba Inu coin. So that's my crypto portfolio for you. Vivi Ruddick says, I think the stock left media trying to spread bad conceptions about DWAC because they know as soon the true social media comes out, all the other media will be dead. Yeah. I think that they definitely don't want DWAC to be doing well. It is going to be a competitor of theirs, and a lot of those companies don't like Trump either, so they're very unlikely to spread good news about Trump's platform. However, Fox News might be spreading. I think Trump was going to speak on Fox, someone was saying at one point. D-Roan says, where are you from, Rob? I'm from North Carolina, United States. Yeah, North Carolina. It's a nice climate for most of the year, at least. Snow says, Rob, good job. I'm 56 years old. I wish I knew what you knew when I was your age. Keep it up. Yeah, I think, I definitely had an advantage because the internet, right? This provides so much information. I can definitely see how, times were a lot tougher probably to get information way back when. There's probably a lot more, obviously there's a lot of misinformation out there nowadays, but it was tougher back then to get accurate information, right? If you're really diligent about it, you can actually search out real info on stuff. And, the world is at your fingertips with the internet. So very lucky that we're living in today's time. Anyone alive today is super lucky, I think. Best time to be alive in all of history, in my opinion. Megan Lennox, I'm up 150% on SHIB. Yeah, I'll pull up my my portfolio on Webull, which I will point out, if you guys are interested, there is the opportunity to get free stocks on Webull. All you have to do is go to the description of any one of my videos, this live stream included, and you can get up to $2,300 with Webull by making an account. You can get some free stocks, get 2 free stocks today, it says. You can do that with all of these brokerages. All these 4 links, these are just like free money links that I provide you guys because I don't like selling stuff. I'd rather give you guys free stocks, and I'll also get free stocks if you use those links. So let's see. Let's pull out the Webull SHIB numbers. So, okay, so SHIB is up big. Basically, let me pull up the real screen here for a second. Hold on, let me just see how this is going to look. But yeah, you can see SHIB up $100. I have sold most of my SHIB at this point. I sold most of it at $200. Sorry, it's not really focused that well, but up 450% from the initial buy-in. So it's been doing good. I've just been averaging out of my position ever since I bought in at I don't know, some decimal. So it's not a long-term play for me. I'm not too worried about it, but it's done well. I made a couple $100 on that easy, right? I saw that they were getting added to Coinbase, bought in on that hype, and that's where I've just been holding ever since. So, thoughts on JRJC? Let's take a look at it. And guys, we will be ending the stream soon, unfortunately. It's 11:54, so at 12 we'll likely be ending the stream. I do have other stuff to do today. So, I need to make some lunch, get some work done. About $6 it was trading. Now it's at 7, so it did pump up quite a bit. Let's see what the news was for it on 10/21. Not seeing company-specific news, so it might just be a momentum volume play. A lot of potentially a short squeeze. Let's see. Why is JRJC pumping? JRJC. I'll pull that up on Ortex. JRJC. China Finance Online Company Limited. So, okay. Looks like there's no short interest data that we can gather from Ortex on this thing. No short interest change and no short interest as a percentage of the free float. It's a Chinese company, so it's an ADR. Yeah, all right. Bought an average of 747, but bought more since, so my average has gone lower when I buy in more, says Megan Lennox. Yeah, 747. Nice. Snow says, 30 years ago, I would never thought people could trade stocks from the comfort of their living room. Y'all young folks got it made. Start young and I agree with that. Start young, retire early. That's the plan, man. Not necessarily retire early. I think that, retirement might be a little bit overhyped, right? I think I might get a little bored being retired. We'll pull up AMC right here. I know people are interested, and that is one of the top stocks on the poll. But for retirement, I don't know. I think I'd rather do something that benefits the world in my old age. Not even in my old age, but to have enough money to retire would be nice. That would be good. Got SHIB just in time 2 weeks ago. Nice, Chuck. Nice buy. Big Milkshake Trading, thank you. Thank you for what did I do for you? Do you think PHUN will bounce, says Doug B? Oh, and then thank you for your insight, Big Milkshake Trading clears up. All right. So do I think PHUN will bounce? So I think if we're going to see a PHUN bounce, it's probably going to be tied to a DWAC bounce, right? I think when DWAC does bounce, we're going to see a little PHUN bounce. I think it will be very minor in comparison. I think DWAC's bounce will probably be much more substantial. But I think that it's likely we will see a PHUN bounce. From what height we will see it starting at, though, who's to say? Maybe it'll go down to 4 and then bounce off of that. It's really dependent, I think, on when DWAC starts to move up. Now, fortunately for PHUN and for DWAC, it looks like DWAC is getting very close to breaking above the $70 level. The hope is that they can, continue consolidating here for a little bit. Eventually, throughout the course of the day, start trending up. Maybe in after hours have a big move up. But we're not expecting anything huge over any short period of time, right? We're waiting for consolidation to occur and for people to gain a little bit more confidence in this stock. We don't expect to just shoot up in a straight line all the way to the moon. Obviously it's going to take a little bit of time. I think that this is going to be a slow bleed up from retail. In addition, obviously there will be some people FOMOing in, but I think that when we look back at this thing in 30 days. And I could be wrong about this. I think that people will just slowly be buying in day after day. I think that, a lot of people have sold their shares, but I think a lot of those people are the ones who are in at 20 or 30 or 40. And for every share sold, there is a share bought as well. So I think that people are slowly buying shares as well. I think there are a lot of people holding shares for the long term. And Doug B says, bought PHUN 2,000 shares at $6 pre-market. It ran to 24 before the halts hosed me. Yeah, the halts destroyed people. The halts destroyed DWAC as well. The halts, buying in at 6, that was an awesome buy, especially if you could have sold at 24. But the halts really stopped a lot of that selling. So, it would have been very tough to actually get that to happen. Yeah, that's unfortunate though, man. I'm sad to hear it. All right, we've got 134 likes. Let's see if we can get just a couple more likes before we end the stream. We just maybe need 6 more likes to get to 140. That would be much appreciated if we could get very close to 140. We're at 135. We got 87 viewers. We only need a couple more people pumping the likes up on this stream. But we will have to end it soon, unfortunately. So, if you want these daily streams, then why not hit the like button? So, Carrie Lee says hasn't finished the sentence yet. Doug B says I got stuck in a halt. Yeah, that's understandable. That happened to a lot. Everyone was stuck in the halts. I mean, DWAC and PHUN both got halted a bunch, and that really killed off the momentum. I think that they could have pumped up a lot higher. We could have seen astronomical prices, I think, if they hadn't gotten halted. That's unfortunate, though. And it looks like PROG is doing fairly well, right? We are moving up. That's good news for us, right? We are slowly trending up, getting closer to $4. We're going to have to see what happens. Obviously, we did get bounced off when we got kind of close to 397. PROG, we're just going to have to keep watching it, keep a close eye on it throughout the course of the day, but I'm hopeful for it. Should I take the loss in DWAC now? Only down $30, at Carrie Lee. I mean, you know, I can't really give personalized financial advice. I'm down as well. I'll show you guys. I'll show you. Uh, just I'll tell you what I'm doing with PROG or with DWAC. Right, I bought 150 shares. I'm not down on money right now because I bought it at 24 bucks, but I am down 2,200 bucks on the day, up 660 or 6,600 bucks. You know, since opening the position though. So I'm not worried about DWAC falling. It might, and you know, if you want to get out of it now, then you can. That's your choice. But I'm not here to give financial advice to anyone. I'm just here to tell you guys what I'm doing. I'm still holding DWAC because I think that we're going to continue moving up, and I could be wrong about that. And you know, you have to decide for yourself what your risk tolerance is. D-Roan says, "Take care, up. See you next time." See you later, man. I'm about to head out as well. So yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the stream. You know, it is 12 o'clock right now, so we do have to end it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. You know, I'll be here every weekday, starting at 9. Hopefully I started a little bit late today, but hopefully starting around 9, going until 12, 12:30 on some days when I don't have as much to do as today. But that's what we'll be doing, and I also release daily videos. So if you guys have enjoyed the stream, then feel free to give it a like. We got over 140, so that was the goal. Got 140 likes, so thank you guys very much. Thanks for joining me. Other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next one. See you tomorrow at 9, hopefully. Later.